Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to day 5 of our first ever virtual welcome week. My name is Lori Olam and I'm the Student Affairs Coordinator in the Office of Student Affairs at City College. I want to thank you for joining us. Let me begin by saying that we are so excited that you chose City to either begin or continue on with your higher education um, endeavors. Um, it's exciting that you are here, and you'll notice that City is a very special place where dreams are birthed and where you'll receive an ultimate student experience. That's our promise and our pledge. Even during the time when we are in the middle of a pandemic, you all still have the audacity to show up and want to get your education. And for many of you, it's been quite um, challenging to adapt to this online modality of learning. And so just so you know, we're all adapting to it too. And we miss you like you miss us too. So we miss seeing each other. I have colleagues on here that I'm so used to seeing on campus. And when I see them, I just miss them so much. And it just makes me want to yearn to be on campus with you all and with my colleagues. So with that, you've developed new skills and abilities through Zoom, which will be very marketable skills when you go to seek a career. So as I was saying, even during this time and we're in the middle of a pandemic, you are still dreaming big. And so our commitment to you is to be supportive, to nurture you, mind, body, spirit, while you're with us. We will absolutely create the finest world citizen that you possibly can be through our social justice programming and commitment to equity and inclusion in our campus. It's our desire to provide you with the highest quality of education, and our mantra is simple, it's students first. So this week was planned just for you in mind. We have terrific opportunities, and this is our last day, but I have to thank everybody that has come before today and that's here today and will continue to be here through the rest of this afternoon. You will get to hear from faculty, staff, students, and all about Associated Students Government and student clubs. Just a lot of great things in store for you. So with that, being all about you, I'd like to begin. Let's get started. And I'd like to introduce Tony. I'm going to spotlight her and I'll let her tell you what she does on campus. Thank you, Tony.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Like Lori said, my name is Tony Martinez, and I am a mental health counselor at the Student Health Center. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about our services, but before we do that, I thought that we would get started just with a very quick meditation. And the reason that meditation can be really helpful, especially during this time we're dealing with a pandemic. Um, we're dealing with so many stressors, so much civil unrest, that we really need quick coping skills just to calm us down and to make us feel centered. And so really that's the point of today's meditation is hopefully to bring a little bit of calm to you as you get started for the fall semester. So the meditation that I'd like us to do today, it's called boxed breathing. So it's actually a breathing exercise, and breathing is the fastest way to calm the nervous system down. Okay, faster than taking a pill and waiting for it to take into effect, faster than calling a friend, faster than doing anything else. Is we can calm ourselves down by breathing. And so with this box breathing, it's actually going to be a visual. And so I actually drew a box. Okay, so I want you all to visualize a perfectly symmetric box. And as in you're visualizing this in your mind's eye, just begin to outline the box. Okay, and we're going to breathe for 4 seconds, and we're going to inhale for that breath. Okay, so it's going to be an inhale for 4 seconds, like you're outlining the top of the box. And then you're actually going to hold your breath for 4 seconds, outlining the side of the box. And then you're going to exhale for 4 seconds, bottom of the box. And then you're going to hold again for 4 seconds. So the sides of the box are when you hold the breath. Top is the inhale, bottom is the exhale. So let's just try it together. Let's go through the box. Outline it again in your mind's eye. Just visualize a box, and we're going to outline it for 3 times. Okay. So wherever you are, just take a minute to get settled. So maybe finding a comfortable seat, maybe closing your eyes if it feels comfortable. If you have any essential oils or a candle, that can be really helpful to deepen the senses. But wherever you are, turn the phone down, minimize all of your screens, and just kind of give yourself this moment of calm, this moment of peace. So let's just take a deep breath together, empty out, relax the shoulders, feel the hips heavy, unclench the jaw, and then just begin to visualize that box. In your mind's eye, visualize a perfectly symmetrical box. And then we're going to inhale for 4 seconds, following the top line of the box. Hold for 4 seconds, visualize the side of the box. Exhale for 4 seconds. Visualize the bottom line of the box. Hold our breath for 4 seconds. Visualize the side again. And then we're going to inhale for 4 seconds. Hold our breath for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold at the bottom for 4 seconds. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for 4. Exhale for 4. Empty out. Hold at the bottom of the breath for 4 seconds. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale, let it go for 4. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just resume your normal breathing. And then when it feels okay, open the eyes, come back to this space. And already I feel a weight lifted off of my shoulders. I feel a sense of ease. And I just feel a little bit more rejuvenated and energized. So I hope that you feel the same way. Anytime that you're stressed, anytime you need to calm yourself down, just remember box breathing and visualize that box. Okay, so I think at this point I'm gonna pivot on and just explain our services. Like I said, I'm from the Student Health Center, mental health counseling side. You'll hear from my colleague, Michelle, in a bit to talk about student health. But I thought that I would kick off with a quick video. So bear with me here.
Hey everyone.
Hey, we're from San Diego City College Student Health Center. Did you know that the Student Health Center is now offering free confidential telemedicine and teletherapy to eligible City College students?
What's teletherapy?
Teletherapy is mental health counseling and support offered via video chat.
Why would I need to do that?
There's a lot going on in the world right now. It's confusing and chaotic and conflicting, and it has the toll on our students. Speaking to a mental health counselor allows them the abilities to balance their own personal stressors while also meeting their academic responsibilities. It's a unique space. It's a non-biased, non-judgmental, and confidential space for them to discuss any issues they're facing.
But does teletherapy even work?
Yes. Overall, the research shows that teletherapy is just as effective as traditional face-to-face counseling in a variety of circumstances.
And is it safe?
Yes, the Student Health Center uses a HIPAA encrypted Zoom account to ensure a secure connection for its students.
What if I live with roommates or family members? How can they ensure that I have the privacy?
Counselors would work with dedication and commitment to support students in creating privacy, whether it is through the use of a safe word or in finding a quiet area in the home, like the bathroom or in the car.
How much do these services cost?
Nothing. Services are free because it's covered by your student health fee.
All right, cool. So is it only available in English?
Sessions are available in multiple languages. Please reach out to find out about our language options.
Okay, so how would I know if teletherapy is necessarily a good fit for my specific needs?
You can visit us at the Student Health Center's website and make sure you click on the Mental Health Counseling tab so you can request an easy and simple phone call consultation with one of our counselors.
Students can also be connected to supportive community referrals to ensure basic needs are being met, such as food, housing, and healthcare, and to learn more about the different virtual support groups that are being offered by the department. Staying connected with peers now is more important than ever.
What if I have questions about COVID-19 or another medical related issue?
The Student Health Center is also students' first stop for their physical health needs. We too have transitioned to the virtual world and are now offering telephone consultations and telemedicine services. Covered by your student health fee, these services are free and confidential for all City College students.
While you're on the Student Health Center's website, make sure to check out the tab for the Student Health Clinic. There you'll find the most up-to-date information related to COVID-19. There you will also be able to request a consultation with a nurse practitioner or a physician. This will give you the opportunity to explore any physical health symptoms you might be experiencing.
So spread the word. Please let your students and any friends or family you have at City College know about these invaluable resources. Thank you.
Thanks.
We hope to hear from you soon.
Okay, so that really is a good rundown of the services that we provide. And as you can see, all of the people that talked on that video, most of them are either mental health counselors or they're mental health peer educators. So as you can see, we have a diverse staff. If you're looking for a woman of color, if you're looking for a Black person, if you're looking for an LGBTQIA person, whatever it is, we have a really diverse staff because we know it's really important for that connection. And it's not always easy to ask for help. So sometimes being paired up with someone who kind of knows a little bit more about your life experiences can make the transition a little bit easier into mental health therapy. And so the last thing that I'm just going to show you is how you would actually make an appointment with us. So you would go on our website and you can see here, we can put the URL for the website in the comments for YouTube. Or if you want to just make it easy, you can just Google San Diego City College Mental Health Counseling Center. And then you'll get to our page. So this is what our page looks like. And then if you are interested in making an appointment with us, or even if you have questions about therapy and is it a good fit for me and I just want to learn more, or maybe you need resources for food or for housing or Medi-Cal or Medicare, anything like that, and you just want to speak to a counselor, click on this form here. So it's under Make an Appointment and Let's Talk. If you click on this form, it will take you to a Google form right here. And on this Google form, you can see the hours that you're available to make an appointment with us. And then you just fill out this information. It's really quick. And then we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Okay. If you need an emergency mental health resource, there are 2 here. So here is the Access Crisis Line that you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or you can text COURAGE to 741-741 if you need immediate assistance. And the last thing that I'll say is our services are completely free to students. We're not going to ask for a copay. We're not going to ask for a credit card, and they are confidential. So we're not going to share the information with your family. We're not going to share the information with your teachers or for financial aid. This is really a safe space for you to talk to a counselor and get emotional help. So thank you so much. Good luck with your semester, and we're so excited to welcome you to City College.
Thank you so much, Tony. May I ask a quick question before you leave? So it's free to City students. So what if I'm a City student and I'm having relationship problems with my parents or my partner? Does it cost any money to have them come?
No, and thank you for asking that. And so we do have couples therapy, and we also do family therapy. So for that to happen, only one person in the couple or in the family needs to be enrolled in City College. And so if your partner is not enrolled, if your parents are not enrolled, that's okay, just as long as one of you is enrolled. And we also do group therapy as well. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to seek support when it's in a group setting and other folks are kind of going through what you're going through. So just know that we're doing groups as well that are confidential and free. So look out for those on our website. And if you follow us on Instagram or any of our kind of social media, look out for it on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tony. We appreciate you so much. Hoping that you have a great weekend. Thank you again. So we're going to turn it over, if I may. I would like to introduce to you Michelle McCurdy. She's from our Student Health Services. So we, at City College, we really do care about the whole part of you, your mind, body, and spirit. So Michelle's going to talk to us a little bit today about the Student Health Services side of our programming. And so without further ado, Michelle, thank you so much for being here.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Sorry, my alarm went off there, so I apologize for that interruption. Things happen. So I'm Michelle McCurdy. I'm one of the nurse practitioners here at Student Health Clinic, City College, and we welcome you warmly to our campus. Thank you for choosing us. We have, although we are online, we still have many of our services we are still able to offer. I am going to start with a brief video just to give you an overview. It reflects, it was done pre-pandemic, so it reflects how we function in the clinic normally. And then once we watch that video, I'll just sort of talk about what we provide now online. So bear with me while I share my screen.
This is the Student Health Center.
Hold on. I don't know. Were you able to hear that? Let me try that again. Oh, yes. Okay.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure that was.
The Student Health Center is comprised of mental health counseling and the Student Health Clinic. Any student can come in at any time and present as a walk-in. If we're free and available, we'll take someone right there. If someone is in a crisis, we will always see them face-to-face to evaluate. And people can make appointments by walking in or by calling us.
We are a one-stop shop and can help meet your physical and emotional needs. We have a doctor, nurse practitioners, and nurses here.
Any student who is enrolled in at least one class at City College is able to come in and be evaluated.
anything at all, if you have any physical concerns whatsoever, whether it's a cold or a stomach ache, asthma issues, you need your prescription refilled, we function like a regular doctor's office.
Many students at City College do not have health insurance, and while we're not a 24/7 facility, we can help fill in the gaps for both mental and physical care.
Most of our students just come in feeling overwhelmed. And so this is a place to sit down with a counselor that can hear you, that can see you, and then can help you figure out and strategize a plan for your life.
Okay, so that is obviously how we function in the pre-pandemic world, but we do still provide many of those resources. We have both online and video appointments, absolutely confidential. We can still diagnose and treat about 80% of what we can, 80% of an illness can be diagnosed. Most of it comes from history taking. And so we can treat so many things just by seeing and talking to a patient over the phone or online. We can prescribe medications, we can order lab tests, we can order x-rays, and all of the visits are absolutely free. You can see us, and there's no limit to how many times a student can come visit us. There are very low costs involved in lab tests. Obviously, if there's a prescription, a student will have to pay for that, or their x-rays, they will have to pay for that. But we are able to help students if there's financial problems. We do have some resources. So we do really try to work with you. We don't ever want students to go, leave us without any help. So, and so again, all of our help is confidential. Let me just go through how you go about making an appointment with us. So I'm just going to share my screen one more time. So. Okay. Hold on, I seem to have lost where my screen was. But in any case, I will, if you just go to our website, there is a form on there that'll show you how to, you just click on it. It's a Google form. You can enter all of your information. We check that and we get back to you. You can also give us a call. Our phone number is 619-388-3450 and leave us a brief message and we will return the call. So we are here for you. We miss you. You guys are our priority, and please do come see us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate you being here today and for sharing the information. Really appreciated the video. And for students, while we can't be on campus, where you would, honestly, you would be amazed at the kind of services that you get at our Student and Mental Health Counseling Center. But online, on their website, you can go and it'll walk you through each step as to how to get an appointment. And it's a lot of great information. And thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us again today. I really appreciate it. Our next presenter, I don't believe has arrived just yet. So what I can do is share my screen and show you some information while we're still here on our health services. One moment, please. So can you all hear me? Yes. So this is our Student Health Services website. And what I wanted you to see about they have a virtual front desk that's in operations right now. And if you need assistance, you can click on any of the links. They have the CCC Confer Zoom right here and the ID so that you can get information. With regard to the COVID pandemic, there's also information with what to look out for. And I will say that our health clinic does a really great job at keeping us up to date with the most current and scientific and accurate information that we can possibly have. So if you're looking for something, straight to the point, you're more than welcome. I would strongly suggest that you click here in this area so that you're able to see some very valuable information about COVID. Additionally, safety at home, we understand that sometimes it can be very challenging at home, and that we do understand that sometimes there might be some issues that creating circumstances for you in terms of safety. And so the City College Student Health Center also has, in collaboration with our mental health center, has a program that's called Speak, and it's confidential. It's a crisis hotline that you can contact at any time, 24/7. The number is here, 1-888-385-4657. And additionally, that was the beautiful video that we just saw. The values that we have at the Student Health Center are all what you see here. These are the ones that you see larger are our main shared values that we have in our campus community. And I just wanted to introduce you to some of the staff as well that you might be seeing on a Zoom. There's so many caring people here. I can tell you personally that when I was a student at City College, I remember I didn't have a job. I didn't have any health care. And so I got bronchitis. I didn't know I had bronchitis at the time, but I got ill, and I was referred to go to the Student Health Center. And to my surprise and happiness, I guess, is because I was able to get diagnosed that very same visit. I didn't have any money to pay for the antibiotics that I needed to get well. And so what they did was write me an IOU, and that just meant they had the antibiotics available, and that I signed an IOU saying that I would repay them when I could. And although it took me 9 months to repay that money because I was at the time living under poverty, they really stepped in and helped to save me and allowed me to get cured. And then I paid them back, and they just pay that kindness and that caring forward. So with those things in mind, I want to thank Michelle again for coming today and talking about student health services. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and thank you again. I'm looking for my next presenter, and she's here. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to Jamie Sievert, and I will let her introduce what she does with our college. I'm going to send it your way. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Hi, everyone. My name's Jamie Sievert, and I'm a research and planning analyst with the San Diego Community College District Office of Institutional Research and Planning, and my pronouns are they, them. I am currently working on a project that involves going out to the campuses, in this case virtually, of course, using Zoom, and talking to our LGBTQ+ students about their experiences. And I'll go ahead and share my screen. So essentially what I'm asking is for interested students to participate in a 2-hour focus group. It'll be conducted on Zoom. You're more than welcome to keep your camera off. It's completely voluntary, so if you are interested and you want to sign up, I'll be providing a SurveyMonkey form in the chat. as well as my email address. And you're more than welcome to contact me via email for questions or to sign up. And if you do so, just know it's not set in stone. You're more than welcome to withdraw at any point in time, and it won't affect your anything. It won't affect anything. It won't affect your standing with the college. It won't affect anything about your student life. This is completely optional. Although I do hope you participate, because it's really important that your voices are heard as we make changes on campus and ensure that our campus community is a welcoming place for all students. And so my email address is on the screen. It will also go in the chat along with the SurveyMonkey form link. And so basically, I'll be asking questions about what your experiences are like on campus, what your experiences are like with the curricula, and really it's kind of an open discussion because we've never done something like this before. And no matter how much I read or try to cover all my bases or all of our bases with the questions I'm creating, I understand that my experience as an LGBTQ+ student in our district is going to be very different than somebody else's, because I have other privileges, and we all have other intersecting identities that affect our daily lives and our lives as students. So I'm really hopeful that you'll want to participate. There's a lot of good information that will come out of this project to inform decision making, such as the colleges are currently looking into establishing pride centers or safe spaces for LGBTQ+ students. So it's important to us that your voices are heard in that process. And really, there's a lot that could come out of this. It's, like I said, it's new. There's a lot of opportunity here. We may find opportunities for training staff and faculty, and really just anything. It just depends on your experiences. So I'm going into this very open to what you have to say, and I'm really hopeful that you'll participate. And we did already have one focus group on Zoom in the spring semester, and it was really wonderful. I know we're all missing connection right now and missing campus, and it was really, really cool to have a group of LGBTQ+ students in a Zoom room to talk about their experiences and to make those connections as students. I think that was really awesome. It was a great opportunity, both for me and I think for the students. So I'm really hopeful that you'll join us for the fall 2020 focus groups. And please feel free to reach out to me at any time. This is really important to me. I'm a former student of our district as well, so I'm very happy to be here, and I'm wishing you all the best in fall 2020.
Thank you so much, Jamie. We talk about pronouns, and you always introduce yourself using your pronouns. Can you just talk a little bit about the importance of and the meaningfulness of using pronouns?
Absolutely. So it's important that we introduce ourselves with our pronouns, because you can't really determine what someone's gender identity is or what their pronouns are based on their gender expression, the way that they look. So for example, for my personal experience, I'm aware that a lot of folks who look at me default to she, her pronouns, use she, her pronouns for me, but I am non-binary and I do use they, them pronouns. So I always appreciate the opportunity to provide my pronouns, and it's always great when allies will introduce themselves with their pronouns, because even though their gender identities and their gender expression may align, even though that those their gender expression and identity may align, they're normalizing the idea that that's not an assumption we can really make. And I really appreciate that. But I also think it's important, maybe in the classroom for faculty to introduce themselves with pronouns, but also understanding that some students may be questioning or in the process of figuring out their pronouns or gender identity. And so we always have to also make space for folks who aren't yet comfortable sharing their pronouns. But it's still a very important practice, and it's one that can be very wonderful for your LGBTQ+ classmates to feel welcome and safe in a space, is to know that the class is being interested in and being respectful of pronouns that differentiate from she, her, or he, him.
Thank you so much for explaining that to us, Jamie. We really appreciate you. You've been with us all week long, and I'm so grateful that you're working with our campus community and, in fact, all of our sister colleges to create these safe spaces and create rich and informative dialogue that will help to create appropriate programming. And I guess the best thing I can say about the work that you're doing as a researcher is that you're working to get your finger on the pulse of our students. So our students are actually driving the data.
Yes, that's extremely important in the work that we do. So in the Institutional Research Office, we do handle state compliance reporting and things like that. But the work that I in particular, but I know that my team use the most, is when we're able to make improvements or suggest improvements that can help students feel more welcome on campus. And the best way to do that, my field for training, and I got my master's degree in applied anthropology. So I am a little biased. I like talking to people, but I think that's really the best way to understand what's going on campus and make better decisions, is to hear from the students, to hear from you all, because you know, I can theorize and speculate and read literature with my colleagues, but we can only do so much without your input, because you know what's going on. And well, your experiences may be very diverse, and you know what one student says may be completely different from what another student says. We want to honor all of those different experiences and see what we can do to just make the campus a wonderful place, not only, you know, for the student body all together, but also for LGBTQ+ students, for our students who have different identities that do impact the way that they navigate their academic lives. So I'm really excited to do this work with you all, and I really hope to hear from you. And remember that if you reach out, you can withdraw at any time. So if you're just not sure if you want to participate, feel free to send me an email. I put the SurveyMonkey link and my email in the chat. That will be moved to YouTube Live. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Jamie, if I may ask another question, and it may be personal, and I'm sorry it's on the fly, but I'm so interested. You indicated that your master's was in anthropology. So how did you navigate your degree, your desired degree, and getting into research? Like, how did that happen?
Well, it was definitely kind of a journey for me to land in education. I really enjoyed teaching, and that kind of clicked with me. Also, my program is very oriented on social justice, and so while I did not start in education, that was not even what I did my master's thesis on. I did start to get really interested in it during grad school, and I was very fortunate to be able to work in the research department. And I'm not associated with the anthropology department at City College, but I will make a plug that I really enjoyed my time in anthropology. And because it's such a broad field and you learn such incredible research tools in that field, I was able to, you know, apply those skills, even though I didn't start in education, to this new field that I'm in. And I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I do have some teaching experience, which is really what got me interested in educational research. And then through getting first a temporary the research office here, and then moving into my permanent position, I kind of found where I want to be. And so, you know, it's okay to not know right away exactly what career you want to go into. You'll definitely find that. And like I said, my program was also very social justice oriented. So I did have some experiences as a professor that kind of showed me, you know, how important these different identities or concepts are to students who are navigating their academic careers. And so that really inspired me to get involved here. And I love this district. Like I said, I started my college career here, just like many of you. So I'm really happy to be here and to be back. So I hope that answered your question, Lori. I'm not sure.
It did. And the reason I asked you, Jamie, and thank you so much for being so candid with your response, is because a lot of students, new students that are new to City College, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to work with a counselor to, they may not know exactly what they want to do in a career. And so some are confused. They're like, so if I don't know, what do I choose as, my major then? And that what the beauty is that you can change your major, right?
Yes. And what's also great about this is if you're sure that you want to transfer, or if you're sure that you want a degree from our colleges or from City College, what you can do too, what I did that I think was really helpful is I took a lot of my general education courses first. And through that, I found anthropology. I took an intro to biological anthropology class at Mesa College. And that's kind of how I found my interest. So, talk to your counselors, take what I say with a grain of salt. But I'm just saying, you're in a really amazing place to explore and hopefully to find something that will get you started on the path that you want to be on. And, your City College team has your back, the counselors have your back, Student Affairs certainly has your back. So definitely, there are many different paths to get to the same place, and I'm really excited for all of our students who are taking their first step on their path in fall 2020.
Thank you so much, Jamie. That is I think such a wonderful welcome. I appreciate your presentation and talking about your personal journey, because it's so inspiring, and I'm sure for the viewers who are watching, I think it maybe fills in it connects dots and fills in some of the blanks. It probably alleviates some anxiety about having to know right now what I want to be.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing.
Of course. I'm always happy to join you all. And I've had so much fun this week getting to talk about the project. And please reach out with any questions, or if maybe you missed my email in the chat or something, if you reach out to Lori, I know that connect us. So thank you all for hearing my my little presentation, and I wish you all the best this semester.
Thank you, and happy semester to you too.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you. Take care and have a great day.
Yes, you too. Bye.
Bye. So we're back, and while our next presenter is not with us just yet, I'd like to share with you a little bit about our Student Affairs office, because it is there isn't anything that Student Affairs doesn't do. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'd like to go through some of the information on our website here. Give me one moment, please. In all actuality, I'd like to start with the homepage, because as you're becoming familiar with San Diego City College, it's important that you know how to navigate our website. So here you have our homepage. On our homepage, as you can see, I am City. That's a strong and bold statement, because it's something that you'll be proud to be a part of City College. There are links for you to apply and register easily. Right now we have a class schedule for the fall. And then for those of you that haven't filled your semester up yet with classes, there are open classes here where you'll be able to locate more classes that to fill up your card if you're trying to be a full-time student. There's also terrific counselors. You'll see Salam there. Salam G is working with one of our outstanding students who just transferred to San Diego State. So success at City is what you can anticipate and expect. We are here for you in so many ways. We know these are challenging times with the pandemic going on. We know that it's challenging for some of our students to adapt well to this online learning modality. But the great news is that you have all the support that you absolutely need to get through it and to be successful. Some of the things before I jump onto Student Affairs is right here on this homepage, we have remote online student services. Student Affairs is part of Student Services. So I'd like to walk you through it while we're waiting for our next presenter to appear here. if you're looking for any updates whatsoever, we have a college calendar so that you could see any programs or what's going on this week. And as you see, starting on actually today, we have this afternoon at our 11:30 hour, we'll have our wonderful outreach department doing a City Ready presentation. It'll be interactive, and so they'll provide lots of great information about San Diego City College and how to get started and how to get connected. But if you go to our college calendar, you're able to see what's going on, current events and things of that nature. Additionally, scroll down a little bit more. Each one of our student services departments took a lot of time in creating some like at your fingertips online student services. So starting from admissions and enrollment, you can get support with your applications, assistance with your student portal, enrolling in your classes, establishing residency, and those kinds of information. I will come back to this because I see one of our wonderful colleagues, Philippe Pateau, is here with us. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to invite Philippe to welcome to our virtual welcome week. Philippe, I'm going to go ahead and spotlight you now. We appreciate you coming and I'll let you take it away, kind sir.
Hey, I like the message. I'm mute myself. I've never seen that before. You have to show me that trick. Well, Maria Adame was supposed to be here today and to do this, and she's in a meeting right now, so I said I would do it for her. So welcome everybody. I'm glad to be here. She informed me of this welcome week just a few days ago, and I'm happy to be here as the chair of the department, but also as a faculty members. And I do have Oscar, former president of the student body, in my class again. So, which is nice because he can share with the rest of his classmates, the importance of being involved in the campus life. So, I know this welcome week, there's the schedule right down. So we have, our class have been full. This coming semester. Some Spanish class were not as full as we expected. So we do have room for students who want to join us. The French, the same thing. We have few spots. So we're happy to help the student if they want to join us. What else do you want me to say, Laurie?
Well, I think maybe some of the things that the language department, some of the activities that you've done when we were on campus, but how are you working with your students in the classroom with the new Zoom, and what are ways in which you're seeking to get connected with students so that they feel that they belong at City?
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm glad you said that about City. Because I think one of the error that we made is we say, okay, are you a student? I'm glad that you join us, that you join my French class. This is one of the welcome message that I send to students prior to the first day. I always send a welcome message. As I tell them, I know what it is in the message. I try to be, I try to put myself in their shoes. It's like, I know what it is to be a student. I was a student while before being a teacher. So, and I explained to them in that message, I know that situation we are going through is a tough one. So I'm going to try to be here for you, try to make things as, as easier as possible, and as being as flexible as possible. So that's the first message. But when I write this message, I always put down, I'm very glad that you decided to take a French class at City College. Because I think that's what we need to emphasize. We are at City. It's nothing against Mesa or Miramar or the other colleges, but we need to make them understand this is City College and make them proud to be City student. The same way we should be proud of being City, instructors. And sometimes we just forget that. We just don't emphasize the City. And just explain to them what everybody's doing here at City to help them out. Could it be from the DSPS to the admission, from the counseling office, student affair? I know I have some students. Bonjour, Maria, Lupita, and you know what's available. So what I do to try to stay in touch with my student personally is I try to respond to them. As a matter of fact, this is it. Let me show you. For anybody who needs this. I don't know if you have an issue with sleeping, but I do lately. And it's because I spend too much time on the computer. This is a set of glasses. It's kind of, you don't realize it's kind of yellowish, and you will cut down the layer of light. And Brewster, who has been a massage therapist for 20 years, has said, you know, if you're if you're a long time on the screen, it will affect your sleeping pattern. So this what, you know, helps, because again, I try to respond to students right away. I tell them, you know, even on the weekend, because we're in a situation with different. So yes, I make myself available. I'm lucky, I don't have kids, I don't have pets. So we make things easier. And I'm not saying that everybody should do what I do, but I know by being there for them and responding within, you know, I don't do 24 hours. I try to respond, you know, I check my computer, walk away, because I have a life outside the class, but they know I'm there. And acknowledge every single email. If I don't have time to even say, I just send a little, you know, icon, like a thumbs up or a little smile, say, I got your message. Even if they don't ask for a response, I just always respond to them saying, I got an email from you. I got it, and I just want to say I received it. I try to make it fun and be as stress-free as possible in my class. For instance, I left the, when they do work online, it's self-corrected by the computer. In the old days, I would put like, you have 3 attempts and then you get your grade. And then if you do your homework after the due date, you're being penalized 20%, okay? Because you have to do on the due date. I left all this up and try to, we don't need to add more. And I don't believe I need to add more to the stress. Now, that said, I've been teaching for what? Almost 30 years now. This summer, I taught 2 French classes. Average grade, 96% of my students got an A in the class. It's incredible. And I'm not talking an 89 or 90, I mean 95 or 96, 98. It's incredible. Now I teach languages. I didn't even force them. I didn't make my meeting mandatory. In the summer, remember, it was totally online. And that's a question we're debating now, remote online. That's a big issue right now. So there was no day assigned because at the time we didn't took in consideration the transfer issue. And that's why this fall, from my understanding, they did the hybrid whenever it was possible. They did hybrid or fully online if the DE is allowed fully online. But for languages, is only allowed for hybrid. So they put it there the week. During the summer, they didn't do that. So I really didn't have to teach per se, but I did meet with them. And I say it's absolutely, it's not mandatory. So if you want to join, you're welcome. You will not be penalized if you don't show up for class. But if you want to practice with me, I'm more than happy. And your classmates. So I put break room, because a break room helps them to connect with other students. Now we have Pronto, and I highly invite faculty to learn about Pronto. We have so many things to learn. I'm still learning it. I mean, we just got through with Canvas Studio, and Canvas Studio, same way, is a new tool. And they strict to the Canvas Studio that I discovered even 2 days ago when students submit a video. So we're still learning, there's a lot of things to learn. Another thing I found out, so Pronto is a great app for students to connect outside the classroom without sharing the email. They just can at any time, and they text. I was watching a preview of a movie, and it took place in California. I forgot, we're surfing and everything. So one of the teachers said, well, don't you read my email? He said, email? Which century are you from now? He said, we don't do email, we do text. So, which is an issue with some students, you know, they don't read email. And I know, so you tell them you have to read when you make an announcement. I found out with Canvas, you can they can be notified via text, and they also can set it up as text if they don't want to read email. But those apps are absolutely wonderful for students to feel that they are connected outside the classroom. Another thing I found out, and please, I'm not saying this is what I do is right and what you do is wrong. I'm just sharing with you that we have tendency to want to have everything laid out properly for our student on Canvas. So much that they have to read every single thing. Like, I've seen website when you want to be so organized that you're overdoing it. And students are lost because they're like, where do I go? There's so many things I have to do. And so I found out that if you keep simple, very simple, it's easier for the student. But if you try to, like, I'm going to tell you how to pick up a phone. Okay, so first thing, you pick up the phone. Second thing, you dial. Then number 3, you listen for the tone. And then if you try to write all those steps down, the student's going to be lost. So just give him the minimum. If you think, oh, I'm going to give them a schedule, great. But if you use a book, like I use a book who has already a calendar, I don't have to add a schedule. I just say, go to the calendar of that book. It's there. I don't have to create a calendar on Canvas. Even if Canvas certification say, hey, use a calendar, it's really useful for students. Great. But for my class, they already have a calendar on the I call it super site, the workbook online. I don't need to add another calendar, okay? I barely watch my calendar. So one calendar is enough. Even if you think, well, maybe I should do, now announcement, I use them. Again, keep your announcement to a minimum, because if you send them 6-7 announcements a week, for a class that meets once a week, they're going to get lost. They're going to stop reading them. So like now I'm writing an announcement for next week. And I'm just saying, okay, I'm not going to send it until I know exactly what I need to put in and how much do I put in there. Because I don't want to send back another. I do same thing with faculty. When I'm as a chair, I say, if I send them, tons of email to say, hey, I try to keep it, this is what I want to remind you, A, B, C, D, for this week, next week, the week after. And yes, sometimes I'll say, oh, I forgot to do this. So I send them another one with another information. But if you can, combine everything in one announcement, that's it. Because they have other classes. So imagine as a student, if you have 5 or 4 classes, how many announcements? If every instructor sends 3 announcements, and you have 4 classes, you have 12 email, and they stop reading them. That's it. So that's my point, how I try, make it simple, try to put yourself in this shoe. And I know you have material to cover, but sometimes you may have to cut down on what you need to cover and say, and talk to the next instructor who may take the class after you, who may the next level, say, hey, is that okay? We may not cover that entirely, but I want to make sure I have time to really focus on this. And I found out also, and I'll stop there, that some faculty need help, like our faculty. They never taught online. we were thrown in March 17 or 16 into the online, but we were never online. We were online just because we studied on campus, and then boom, we were through on teaching. And then some of us didn't have certification. From what I understand, only 25% of faculty at the time at City College had. So we had to learn and do the best we could. But we were never a hybrid course, okay? So we did the best we could. Some teacher didn't meet their student online at all, never knew Zoom, never used it. They just communicated via email. And that's fine, no judgment on that. We all did whatever we had to do at that time. But now we are hybrid or fully online. So if we don't know, if we have never done it, I'm lucky I did it in the summer, but I did fully online, now I'm hybrid. Well, it's pretty simple. Ask people who have done it, and don't say, you're not the only one. So what I'm doing now is connecting our faculty who were already hybrid before. So I have, for instance, Lupita, we had from other campuses who were already doing it. We have Rosie, a Spanish instructor, Alberto, Spanish instructor. So I say, do you mind sharing how you organize your class? What do you do with your Zoom session? Because faculty right now are lost. They say, well, I can't cover this material if I don't meet twice with them. You know, twice a week for us, it's a 5-unit class. We need to meet 5 hours, but we don't meet 5 hours. We meet 2.5 hours. Well, how can I meet? How can I do my material that I'm supposed to do is only 2.5 hours, half the time? Because this is what you need to do with the other 2.5. They need to either learn on their own. So what do you do with a Zoom session? Do you do your lesson or do you do your speaking? Personally, I use my Zoom session only for conversation. I let them read the lesson, which they should have done that even there, read the lesson, do the exercise online, and then let's go right after you've done it. So I do my homework due on Sunday. And on Monday, when the session starts, I say, okay, you had a chance to do your homework that week based on, you know, on this topic. Now let's practice this topic through conversation. So I never do a lesson. And I don't use my Zoom session to answer question of one student or two about homework they've done. I say, no, that is outside our session. I'll be more than happy to meet with you via Zoom to answer your question and your issue. But let's not use that time for one student. This is for everybody to speak. So that's how I get them engaged. And, you know, so that's how I do.
So Philippe, I just want to say that those are some really great best practices. And I appreciate your vulnerability to tell the students that are viewing right now that we are all in this together. So like you mentioned that you didn't teach online before, and many of our students didn't learn online before, but together we are meeting each other where we're at so that the teaching and the learning can take place simultaneously, and that when we struggle or technical difficulties, there's always a way to troubleshoot those kinds of things. It's so important that students recognize that and seeing you, oh, well, you have problems too. So, because we're not perfect, we don't know everything. And technology continues to change. And this Pronto application where you can set them up for text, that is extremely important to know because we are teaching a different generation that learns differently. So, you know, to be able to, I give you and the other faculty so many props, you know, for adjusting and adapting with all the students in mind, but they're learning in mind. And that's so important. And I think that's what City does a great job at, is that when you're at City, we just take care of you.
Yeah.
Mind, body, spirit.
And Nori, you know, my favorite phrase is teachers, you know, we teachers, okay? But teaching is learning twice, okay? When you teach, you learn, okay? So for instance, when students get in a break room, they learn from each other because one person may have already know French, in my case, so they're helping the student who doesn't. They help them with the pronunciation, they help them with the understanding, because sometimes when I join the break room to hear what they do, not to spy them, I'm not here to spy, I'm here to help them, to assist them. I can hear a student helping another student, just teaching, and I'm just listening and having a smile, and I'm like, that's great, that's wonderful. That's a student will take the time, you know, not put them down, oh, you don't know this, no, helping them. And they know they're not being, you know, I don't want anybody to look down on anybody else or tell them you don't know anything. You say, no, we're all here to learn. And I love when students help students. So we teacher, you know, we teach, but we don't know everything. And I said that to students when I'm in front of a class, say, hey, teaching is learning twice. So I even told them the first day of class, our students said, Professor, are you sure you spell this word right when we were in classroom? And I'm like, I swear I did $20, I'm right. He said, I said, but let me check. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I misspelled it wrong. But Professor, you're a French teacher. You should know that. I'm like, well, I don't know everything, you know, and that's it. So they know. And when you come to go back to a few words about technology, about the app, I think teachers also have tendency to want to use everything available. Be careful. Select what's good for your class. And sure, there's maybe something which is better. But right now, keep it to what you know. And then research when you can. Like, you know, I'm trying to put a book together. And sure, I could try to do it now. But no, I'm going to let the student get the material that they need for this semester. And I'm going to work this semester on creating a material that will be free for the following semester. Okay, we're going to do that for French. We're going to do that hopefully with Spanish and other discipline. But you know, it's take the time to learn those tools. So for instance, for Pronto, it's great, but don't jump in and just say, oh, I'm going to adopt it. If you are not familiar, you don't have to know it 100%. And there's my advice to students and faculty, if you don't know something, I don't know. And I never put myself down saying, oh, you know, I'm not a computer literate. We're all learning. You know how to turn on a computer, then you know computers, okay? The point is, I say to students, and the way I learn things is going on YouTube, put tutorial, and then find the tutorial, the most recent one. So if it's Canvas, if it's Pronto, if it's Canvas Studio, you know at it. We have the resource on campus, and they have great webinars that have been recorded. But also go on YouTube and type YouTube tutorial, and then you get help. And same thing, when a student needs help, just tell them. Let them search. You don't get them all the tools. They're there to learn. And sometimes we try so badly to try to give them everything. Let them research. If you tell them, you know what, go on the internet and search, you know, put on the search engine, Canvas Studio tutorial. Let them, show them this is a tool they could use for other, situation. Things that some of them never thought, oh, I never thought about doing that. And I didn't send them the link. I just said, just go and let me know what you find out. So this is what also will help the student, you know, investigating and researching, but don't necessarily feed them everything. Let them, you know, do the work. And sometimes they'll be grateful for that.
Yeah, and one of the things that you mentioned, I think is really important to note, and that is the connectivity in these breakout sessions that you're having, where students are connecting and their own respective frames of references, where they're helping one another to understand the content. I almost think that in some ways it's more engaging than when we were in the classroom. So it's like the new and improved, but I mean, it's not to replace anything, but I think to enhance. Yeah. And so when you talk about the hybrid parts of it, I think that's such a wonderful way to keep students connected with one another and to the content. And I believe I couldn't be so more grateful than I am right now. And before I hand it over to Maria, who's here, I would just appreciate it if you could, I don't know if you're going to be advisor, if you're going to be reigniting the French Club, but since you have been an advisor for the French Club, or I think also for, we had that, what is the other club?
The Spanish Club, the Italian Club.
Yes. The Arabic Club and Italian Club. You have done it all. And so I don't know if that's something that you may be thinking about for this semester.
You know, thank you, Laurie, for reminding me. It totally, you know, because we are now online. I never thought about, like this Welcome Week. Oh, well, I never thought about that. Yeah, why not? We could have a Welcome Week online. There's nothing stop us, but we're so used to and to do everything on campus. So yeah, I think it would be even better to honestly do it the club online, because I mean, they have the time. It's online. They don't have to all meet in one location, because one of the problems was, I can meet, I can do, and we can do so many activities online. So yeah, you have my word. Let me work on that with the faculty. I'll be the advisor. I have no problem with that. Let me do this and contact the other faculty, and I'll get back to you on this.
Oh, that's great. And you'll notice that we have adapted our student affairs page so that everything is now online. So if you go to the student affairs website, you'll see club, all the club packet, everything is digital. So, but thank you, because I know how much fun students had engaging in clubs. And as we know, when students are connected with other activities, in addition to their academic studies, but they have a tendency to stay longer, to complete, and just because they feel so much more connected.
Perfect. Thank you for the reminder.
Oh, no, thank you, Philippe. I appreciate you so much. Say hello to Brewster, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now I'm going to invite Maria Adame to come. She's a professor and also in our languages department. So Maria, if you're there and you can show your beautiful face, I will send it your way.
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming. I am going to now spotlight you. And so you are on, and we're ready for your presentation. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, so my name is Maria Dame, and again, I'm from the languages department. I have been teaching Spanish since San Diego State, like maybe 20 years. I like to teach Spanish. I think all my life I wanted to teach something. And when I started taking those classes of Spanish, it was like, for me, like, oh, this is the thing that I want to do. So I know everyone is not only, I think all our instructors are struggling in a way since everything started since March. So especially because everyone went online. So in the beginning, our instructors were like, oh, we are going to teach online, what things or in what way we are going to do our presentations, our instruction in online. So yes, I think not only students, it was an adaptation, but also instructors online. And then during the summer, we have been doing this since maybe 2-3 years or more with a certification, but now with the necessity, we went forward to certify ourselves and be more prepared. It's a different, how can I say, world when you go in and really know how to teach online. And Philippe was telling us so many good things, practices, and he's a marvelous chair in our department because yes, he practiced those things that he was talking about, sending those emails, being supportive for all the instructors in our department. And the first time that I received this email, I was basically concerned about my colleagues and myself because in the beginning we had low enrollment. So we were talking, how can we do things to promote our classes? And when I saw your email, I say, oh, this is a good idea. So the first thing that I did is I enrolled myself to those blogs, to talk about our classes. And in my case, I have two classes here in a city college, and it's basically Spanish 101. And I started with a very low enrollment, and I remember that I did a flyer and that I sent that information to City Connect with students. In my enrollment, I want to give you my experience because I know some teachers, some instructors, they struggle also. We don't like to lose our classes. We don't like our classes to be canceled. And I know it's basically because sometimes students are not aware of what's happening, where I can get a class, what classes can I take? And it's Spanish in a way, it's a prerequisite to take Spanish 101, 102, 201, and that's the prerequisite classes for GE classes. So when I started doing that, when I saw this in a way like to connect to our society, it was a good opportunity. And I really appreciate this. This is number one. No? Number two, we have programs in our department that also we have a lot of students that are Spanish speakers that they enroll in our classes, and it's good, they learn things also, but we have those classes of 215, 216. We have a Spanish certification, and I want to promote this. And it's a challenge. If you already know the language, that looks very good in your resume or curriculum to take those 6 classes. We have Spanish. How can we do the certification? It's basically doing 210, 211, 215, 216 of Spanish. And then we have Chicano Studies A and B, 141A and B. I really encourage our students that there's more there. City College offers a lot of opportunities. We have a lot of resources in our departments to help our students also. If you feel stressed because you have a lot of classes, imagine we have 2 or 3 classes and we are overwhelmed with work. We try as colleagues to help each other very much. We connect in Zoom. We give advice to each other. Sometimes we are so involved online that we forget certain things and we remind each other and we help each other very much. And Felipe also is a very good chair of our department. So yes, I want to encourage students to go online, to explore this new world. And also we see COVID as a consequence of doing everything online, but there are advantages. In a way, if families have united more, we are more at home. Believe it or not, for me, it was traveling in gasoline, expenses. Now I feel more in touch with my family, more together with my colleagues. We are looking for a way to see each other. And also school is important. I have a daughter, she's 25. And I say to her, you know what, this is a moment to study, to take classes, do whatever you can do to take them, because maybe later on if we go on site, it's marvelous, of course, we need the contact, but and now you can do a lot. You have spare time to do things. And I think students need to be studying to be a better human being. And I think this is a moment to feel, to humanize, to have more values, to help each other, our students, our colleagues, and to instruct, to be accessible for all students online. So I really believe that it can be also a blessing to help, to humanize, to be better as an instructor. And also students can take advantage of this in a very good way. So that's the thing that I have to say. I hope many colleagues can feel the way as I feel, and I truly think that they do. Why? Because teachers, we like to give a lot. That's why we are here, and to give more of our time to promote education. So that's my saying.
Well, Maria, thank you so much for joining us. Between you and Felipe, I'm just wondering if I were to ask you, one good piece of advice to give students during this time where they are experiencing the pandemic, like we all are, and they are having anxieties about class. What are some tips that you guys could provide them so that they can stay on task and be successful and completing their courses?
Okay, I'll say personally, be there for them. Don't be so strict. Again, has to do with your flexibility. We are now in a class environment. I'll give you an example. An example of we do things out of repetition. And I've agreed with Maria. We've learned a great deal. I just put on the chat. It was time when computer came in. Everybody said we were going to be paperless, no more forms, no more anything. Well, that's not true. As you know, we ended up having tons of paper, reminder in our mailbox, and society didn't use that computer tool the way it was supposed to be designed. Okay, and again, I'm not a computer designer or anything, but That said, finally, we have things that works, forms online, things online. Students don't have to go 3 times and stay in line at the admission office anymore. They can petition, everything is online. Yesterday, I submitted change of grade online for the first time, and that was overdue. And so the pandemic you always to look at the bright side, and I'm sorry, there's death there, and it's very sad. But let's look at the bright side of the situation. Is our school finally now has learned to put, and has had the time to put all this online, which was overdue. And we had example, okay, yesterday, and this is not finished, they're still working on it, the grade form, okay, change of grade. I had student, I assigned them the wrong grade, I need to do. That form is online, but it's not, I can't fill it out. I had to print it, so I know they're taking the time and they're doing it, and they can do it, they are doing it without a form. So that is something I will submit to them, and I will talk to Victor, who take care of the website, and you say, hey, this form should be able to be filled out online without us print it and then scan it and all this. So the school is working on that to making it easier for all of us, and for the student, for the faculty, for everyone. So flexibility is the key. And what I don't say, we are so used to the way we did things. So even faculty, I remember, we're like, oh, I'll never teach online, I don't know how, and this is not the way to teach languages. Well, now guess what, we're in there. I love it. Now, if you've asked me this before, I would say, no, I love the contact. I'm a very, I love to be with my student, and you can see it. I have this passion. I love to do what I do, and I miss that contact. But you know what, like Maria said, I love to be home also. So let's be honest, I love to be home, and I have a different interaction I have with my student. And personally, to be honest with you, I got in trouble for even touching somebody's shoulder, because I'm French, so there's a lot of touch. Well, I don't have this problem anymore, okay? Because I'm not touching anyone, I'm not even, I have this, but I'm replacing it with something different. It doesn't have to be worse. We can make it a little bit better. So I look at this as what can we learn and how can we make it? So make it flexible. Try to change the way you think. Okay, example. Do you need to give quizzes? Do you need to give finals? What is this finals? As a chair of a department, I'm not going to tell my faculty to do, something different that they used to. But I say, look into it. Do you need to do finals? Why? Question yourself. If you're a student, how do you feel, as the student? And again, I've been a student before I was a teacher. And I was a student for many, many years because of the degree you have to prepare in order to be a teacher. And I'm like, I didn't like final when I was a student. Why would I give final as a teacher? It was stressful. Also, the way we allocate our grades. I remember going to school, I had 50% of my grade was a final and 50% was midterm. So it's a way you can change things, but I'm used to it. This is what I believe in, yeah? Well, what happened if the last day of class, you're taking the final and your student fell? So now he fails a class. You've been in class for 17 weeks, been on Zoom, whatever, and is failing the class. Well, a student should not fail the class if they did well. And if they should have got an A or B, then they should do well in the final, right? Well, what happened? You put yourself in the shoes. Maybe on that day they had bad news. Maybe on that day they were sick. Maybe on that day a family member was something. I lost my mom. I had on the day I was going to get I was passing my exam for my master's degree at San Diego State. I got a phone call from France, and I found out my mom had brain tumor. And they say it was benign, but still, it was a shock to me. So of course, I went and I passed. I got, my degree. The faculty, when they review my work, they said, Philippe, you passed, but you didn't do as well as we expected. So then I said to them, this is what I found out. And from that moment, I even say, not only it's not benign, she's gonna die. And she doesn't know about it because in France, the doctor won't tell the patient. That's the way it is in France. If the family say, no, don't tell the patient, then they don't tell the patient. So can you imagine if a student is in the situation as I was in and take an exam that's worth 50%? It's not. So we have to be flexible with our grade. We have to be, and I'm not saying we need to feed them and give them everything. You know, there's still accountability, but you know, try to make it easy. So in this situation where with a pandemic, don't add to it. If you can just lower and just make it, it doesn't mean they're going to be lazy. Because I remember people, same thing with exam. People say, well, online. Well, how do you know if they're taking the exam? How do you know if the other one taking the exam, not someone else? I say, you know what? If they want to cheat, let them cheat. I'm not a police officer. I'm a teacher. If they cheat, then when they go to French 102, they're not going to do well because they're not the one taking the test. So even if you give them tests and everything, and that's why I'm totally against that software that, you know, Zoom and say, check you gesture, are you cheating? Are you do? That to me is no, but we don't have it for our department. I'm glad we don't. But that's what I would say is, in the moment of pandemic, keep being positive. Don't, you know, tell them sad stories. Just say, you know, we'll get over all this, you know, and don't lie to them. But just say, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. That's the point. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And I share with them personal stories to make them understand. I said, we all have drama. As a French teacher, I can say, for instance, I have a brother who killed himself. Okay, I can talk about this issue. And why? Because I know some students having a hard time. You have people maybe have mental issue. And I say, you know what? We have a mental service here on campus. We have a mental health, contact them. And I share with them a story. And I say, you know, this is what happened. And it's sad, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I said, for my brother, there wasn't. He didn't see it. I said, but now you can, you know, by me communicating with them about my personal situation, then they may see, okay, I can talk to this guy, or I can talk to mental health because maybe he understands what I'm going through. Because we do have students who are having a hard time and family member are dying, and tell them, you know, just give them a positive note. Say, you know, the person who died, brother, sister, uncle, I just had someone who lost her niece, 22 years old. And the only message I said to her was, you know, how lucky that you knew her, that she was in your life. And she touched you and you touched her. And I'm sure she was glad to have you, but she touched you now. But that said, what can you learn from your 22-year-old niece who just passed is be kind. Live your life to the fullest and be kind with other people, because if you do, not only you will be happy, but you'll make everybody happy. So the point is, we're all going through drama, and we don't know when we're going to die. We don't know when we're going to get sick, but when it happens, we have to, you know, we have to cherish the moment we have, like Maria was saying. And we have to tell people, you know, it's life. It's unfortunate. It's life. People have died. But if those people were to come back, they will tell us, live to the fullest, be happy, and be generous, be kind, reach out and help someone, you know, if you can. And like for right now, kids don't have the money for the textbook. Okay, maybe you can help them. Maybe you can put them in contact, go out of the way to try to help them. You know, the campus has services they can do. So, and I contact former student of mine, say, hey, do you have the textbook? Do you have this? Would you mind lending it? Do you use it? Can you give it to us? You know, can you give it to the foundation so we can reuse the material? So reach to your past student because they may be able to, and those people just come to, oh, professor, thank you for reaching out. As a matter of fact, I'm not using it at all. And so I'd be happy to give it to the foundation. You know, we have a city foundation, and this material can be, can help someone else with the class, because they will drop the class if they don't have the material. So those are the things you can do. But that's it. Maria, what do you have to say?
We have a couple more minutes left, and so while I want to see Maria on, I just wanted to say, Philippe, I think that you hit it right on the nose, if you will, because kindness is free, grace is free. We all need it. We all need to extend it, and we all need it. And so connecting and reaching out to your students, being a little vulnerable so that they can connect to you, I think what that does is gives them hope, and everybody needs hope. And I think San Diego City College is hope. That's who we are. So thank you for underscoring that. And Maria, I'll give you the last 2 minutes. Thank you so much, Philippe. Thank you, Maria. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight you now.
So I welcome everyone. City College, I have been working in different places, and City College is one of those places that, they open themselves to you. They worry so much about you. They give so many services to be there to help you. And this is a situation where, most of the instructors in City College are very sensitive. In this situation, we become more, how can I say, positive. We try to reinforce that inner side of yourself, to overcome certain situations. And behind the screen, we have different situations, and we should be acknowledging that because they need us. And sometimes maybe we don't have a father, we don't have a mother, we don't have a brother, but maybe there's an instructor there that sometimes you connect. Students connect with their instructors if you are accessible. And we need to be accessible like this, see, through Zoom, through chat, in our classes. That's the only thing that I can say. Be accessible, be optimist. See, that's being a human being. No?
Yes, and thank you. And you two are some of the most wonderful human beings on campus. But I do have to say, I'm not biased, but it is the truth that San Diego City College is a very special place. So for the students that have been viewing this conversation from two instructors in our language department, I'm sure that you can feel that they will help to get you where you need to be. And so I encourage you to enroll in their classes. And Philippe, Maria, thank you so much for joining us today. Stay well, stay safe, and here's to a great semester. Thank you both. Have a good weekend. So that concludes our language department part of our program. And again, I want to thank Philippe and Maria for coming. And next up, we have another wonderful professor and counselor extraordinaire. And this is, I'm going to introduce him and give him the spotlight. This is Doc Rivera. Thanks for joining us again this morning, Doc. I have you spotlighted at this time. Thanks for your smile. Appreciate it.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see you. Wow, that was an amazing presentation from the language department. Just brought up so many thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And so many aspects of the new environment that you students are coming into. And I'm just so happy to hear them talk about the changes that your professors are making as well. Changes to make education meaningful for you, to make education relevant, and to not put unnecessary burdens that are just really a result of the old way of doing things. So now that we know more, we know more about how people learn. we can have more confidence in making these changes, that we're still providing you the best education possible and even better than before. And this COVID environment has just helped us to kind of face those things. So we're real excited to be learning with you how to adapt, but most importantly, how to be sure that you receive the support and the education that you're working so hard to achieve. We're there with you. And as a part of that, we have some programs, and I'm going to speak to you about one of them. So I'm looking to share my screen now. And so this is the EOPS program. EOPS, the Extended Opportunity Programs and Services. Extended. That word extended means beyond. In fact, it means more than that. It means over and above, or over and beyond whatever else is offered at City College through counseling type programs. When you qualify for this program, then we are required by law to provide you services that go beyond what you can receive in other departments that provide you the same service. So for example, one of those things is priority enrollment. That means that while you're a student with EOPS, that you are able to register with the first people who are seeking and registering for their classes. That makes sure that you can get the best schedule possible to meet and match the other areas that you're managing in your life. And then we provide academic, career, personal advisement and assistance with transferring to a four-year university. Now, this is a program that many offices provide our students, and that you get great service in those other offices. Still, by law, we are required to go over and above what those offices provide. So if there's something that you need in this area, or that is just beneficial to you, you don't have to necessarily need it. It might just be what is supposed to be provided to you here at the college for your success. So we then in EOPS are committed to providing you whatever it is that's going to be a benefit to you, and that is at all possible for us to do at over and above what other offices do when they provide you these counseling and advisement services. You also receive a print card. That's $25 for printing. You're probably not going to be using that much in this area of COVID, this time of COVID, but still that's something we have provided in the past. And then we also pay for your Associated Student Body membership, your ASB membership, which provides you the freedom to be fully engaged and involved with anything that the students who are fully participating in the college culture and environment are able to do. So this provides that for you, and and we pay for it. And then sometimes EOPS will be provided additional funds, and when that happens, then sometimes students can receive additional money that they do not have to pay back, called grants. And then we also provide a book award. So some professors are still using books. Some of us are using, creating our own materials and using other resources, but that you don't have to pay for as a student. But some professors still find it's best for their course and what they do to use a book. So in that case, we provide about $200 this year, that's what I'm hearing, for your book award. And then once you do all that great work and you achieve your goals like a certificate or a degree, then we celebrate with you your graduation. And there you participate in a reception if you want to, and we purchase your cap and gown for graduation, something that you're able to keep with you your whole life. along with all those fun pictures and memories. And then also many of our students, because we work so closely with you and you do such good work over the time and being part of the family of EOPS, achieve very high grade point averages. And that then qualifies them for the Honor Society at City College. And we pay for the fee that it takes to do that as well. Then sometimes EOPS has scholarships. And when you, then as a member of EOPS, then you are eligible to compete for a scholarship that's provided through EOPS. And if you go to the City College website, you'll see this page there when you look up EOPS. And then there you'll also see contact information, like how you can get a hold of us, hours. And then beneath here, just to mention it, there's the application deadline. So if you want to be part of EOPS this semester, then turn in that application. We're looking forward to seeing you there. And of course, able to help you fill it out if you have questions about it or anything like that. And so the deadline for that is September 11th. So Lori, is there anything else that you think would be good for me to cover as to EOPS?
No, I think you did a really comprehensive overview. So thank you so much, Doc.
Okay, so then I'll just go over real briefly the qualifications for EOPS. And so are you a resident of the state of California? Are you taking 12 units or more? Do you qualify for the Board of Governors fee waiver or a promise or and then all that comes through FAFSA? Have you completed less than 70 units? If you've completed more, then that would not allow you to be eligible for EOPS. And of course, we all have some kind of educational barrier. It could be our time. We could be having our study habits. We could be having food insecurities. We could just be nervous about college because we've never really been here before. Just so many different things. But my main message to you on these requirements to qualify is apply. Even if you think you might not qualify, apply. Because when we're going to take a very close look at whatever it is that you're concerned about, and if there's a way to see what you're doing and to change that, then so that you can qualify, we're going to do it. We're going to find it. It's all going to be legal, but we're going to find it. For example, some of these units, 70, you might think, well, yeah, I have 70 units or more. But when we take a close look at them, some of those units might not actually be what we count in the OPS. So we count them all up, you might only have 50 or 60, then you would qualify. So we're always looking away, and that's looking for a way to benefit you in your education. And so just a big concept here. So I'm just gonna kind of pause. Let's take a deep breath and think about concept, that word concept. So the concept that I want to leave you with on this page is appeal. Appeal, appeal, appeal. In other words, whenever you think that something's just not working out the way you think it might be best for you, then you can appeal that. If there are reasons that are unique to you, you can work with us as counselors and we'll find a way to make sure that you're expressing your appeal, your reasons for your situation. And then many times the rules can accommodate those appeals. Most things in the college can be appealed. Now, they don't always come out the way you want them to, but still, I always encourage my students to appeal because we're always looking for ways to help. Okay, so that's my EOPS. Is that my time frame, Lori?
We have 3 minutes left, Doc.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to share with you about personal growth. The college is really into prioritizing everyone's personal growth. So I'm talking to you now about 4 personal growth classes: personal growth 120, personal growth 110, 120, 130, and 140. So a brief summary of those. Well, let me just introduce it this way. So one of my students just the other day said, I just wish that personal growth was mandatory for everyone because it changed my life. I just didn't think I was going to be that good at school, so nervous, and all the things I learned in the different classes really changed my life and helped me to make education count. And now he's about ready to graduate. He's fulfilling his goals. He's gotten over many obstacles, and many of those obstacles that he learned to overcome came through personal growth, including how to do better in his classes and how to relate his classes to his life purpose, his life mission. So Personal Growth 110 starts out with having you learn the rules of college, basically, how to transition from your life into college. It's different than high school, right? And so, like, for example, how do you calculate your grade point average if you're interested in doing that? Or what are the procedures if you want to replace a grade that you got like a D and you want that off your transcript, you don't want it to be counted? How do you replace that? What's an educational plan and what are the ingredients of an educational plan? So you get introduced to these things here. And then in Personal Growth 120, you go deeper. What is emotional intelligence? Like, we all have emotions. We all know we have emotions. But now the research is pretty clear that it's emotional intelligence, the higher levels of it, the higher skills that can be most predictive of your advancement and your promotions at work. Why? Because you're able to manage different relationships, different cultural backgrounds, different ages that you'll be learning with and living with, your relationships, how to communicate better, what's your personality style. So many things like that, going a little, being introduced to who you are as it relates to your next step in life, your next career moves. And then in Career Personal Growth 130, which is one of the classes I'm teaching this semester, there you learn to take all this information about who you are and relate it to a career, relate it to a major choice. For example, most people think, especially students, you're so pressured to have a major. Like, what is my major? Well, you're like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like, how do I know what I'm really all about as far as a major, especially with everything changing? But for example, in that class, you learn that one major can sometimes fit like as many as 150 to 200 careers. So a major doesn't lock you in. And even then you can change a major, and most students do at least a few times. So there, you then also learn tools, 12 tools in my class and tools in every class that you can take with you for a lifetime. And so anytime you're ready to move to the next stage of your career, you can look at all 12 of those tools and you can say, hey, where am I? Am I using this tool? Do I need to look at that and design this tool so that I can look for my next career position or my next career area? So you learn tools in career planning and personal growth. You take them with you for a lifetime. And then finally, Personal Growth 140, there's where you go deep, really deep into yourself, deep into your culture, deep into your gender, whether it's binary or non-binary, deep into your personality. How does all this come together to release the power of your dream, the power that's in your DNA? And how do you bring all that out so that you have the energy and the motivation to succeed and to be interdependent, to know how to interact with other people so they can help you like they're supposed to help you, and so that you're empowered as well to do your part of it. Anyway, I hope to see you all in one way or another in EOPS or in a personal growth class. Have a wonderful day, and thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Doc, and thank you so much for your warm greeting to our students and being so inviting. Appreciate you so much for being here all week long. You've really been my best friend, right next to me, and I appreciate you so much.
Likewise, Lori.
Thank you. And we'll see you this afternoon too. Thank you so much, Doc. So we're going to transition to our next presenter, and I'd love to introduce you to this next beautiful young lady. This is Charlene Franco, and she's here to talk about, hi, good morning. She's here to talk about our severe and intercultural centers on campus. Oh, I love your hair.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let me figure out how to share my screen so that I can, All right, let's get this on there. Could you see my Safari?
Yes.
Yes, all righty. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Charlene Franco. I work with the Title V SUREAD grant. SUREAD means Students Uplifted by Instructional Reform. It's a pleasure to be here and partake in such a wonderful, resourceful virtual event. I want to share with you a little bit of what we do and the services that we provide for all of our students at no cost. Let me figure out, sharing your screen messes up your layout here. Let me figure this out right here. Okay, so the SUREAD Intercultural Centers are spaces around campus where you can come and study. We have a very adjustable layout in all of our 4 centers. You can come relax in between classes. You can come study independently or in a large group. We have technology for collaborative projects and presentations, as well as charging stations. So you get to recharge yourself and your energy and just your mind, as well as your smartphones. I mean, come on, that's just a deal breaker there, right? So soon we're gonna have printers, we're gonna have laptops that you can check out while you're in the center, and a plethora of other resources at your fingertips. So as you know, during these unprecedented times, majority of us have been forced into this virtual platform. And as we adapt into this new reality, we're working rigorously to provide you with a vast virtual programming and resources and many other things that can facilitate your academic journey, as well as your personal development. So we have 4 centers across campus. We have our S Hub, which is on the 4th floor of the S building. It's room number 402, I believe. And the S Hub is focused to support the students of STEM. STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The second hub is the M Hub, and this is in collaboration with our wonderful ASG, or Associated Students Government, which is Lori and her wonderful department. This one currently focuses on leadership and just getting you interacted with other networks of clubs, of just other leaders that are also fellow students like you. So another one that we have in the works is the Pride Hub, which is focusing on our LGBTQ+, or lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer communities. Our L-7 Women X Hub is focusing on women's resources and services. That one's very much in the works right now. And last but not least, our 4th hub is our Dreamer Resource Center, which is focused to support our undocumented students. That one's located in AH200A. Many of you may know this as the cube, the box. It stands out architecturally and programming wise. It's an amazing center. So our our SUREAD Dreamer Resource Center supports an inclusive campus culture in order to empower our undocumented students to achieve their academic and personal pursuits and become active members of our communities. And let me clarify that it's not just for undocumented students, it's also for anyone that's an ally, anybody that wants to come and get involved with this population. You are more than welcome to. All of our centers, you don't have to fit or conform into this, like, the Pride or the Women, like it's any of the centers. You can come and use any of the resources. You're more than welcome to come and use them, as long as you're a student. Even faculty can come, anybody. We don't segregate here. Everybody's welcomed. Let me come down here. So in our Dreamer Resource Center, we have opportunities to engage and support and empower our undocumented communities in such a manner of like on one-on-one appointments with our counselor, Noel Puga. You may know him from around campus. He's a great resource. I really, really recommend, if you haven't gotten a hold of him or gotten in touch with him, schedule your appointment. You can do that easily on the website, and he'll get back to you as soon as he can and schedule you something and just guide you through this academic journey. Because I know sometimes we need that little push, we need that little, kick. A lot of us have a lot of things going on in life, and how are we gonna do this? Sometimes we don't even have the support from our families. Our families are saying, hurry up, get done with school. You got families to tend to, you got this and that, So if I have personally found that if you get that support group while you're doing your studies, it goes a long way, because it shows you, okay, these people can do it. They're working professionals. They've got other things going on in their life, but this is how they do it. And sometimes you even come out with mentors out of that, and mentors are essential. I cannot emphasize how important it is to build that community around your academic journey and in your personal life as well. So another of our services that we offer at the Dreamer Resource Center is the referrals to free immigration consultations. We also have undocumented healing circles. It's a community discussion where you can talk about different issues going on in our political climate right now, and how it can affect you, how it can affect, just there's different topics that are discussed during this. We also have faculty Zoom office hours, where if you're not comfortable per se asking a question in a large group, or it's a confidential, or you're a little shy, it's okay. I'm shy myself. So there's a one-on-one faculty Zoom hour can provide you with just that connection with someone, where it's like, hey, I have a question about this, and I was timid and I didn't ask it during the Zoom. How do I get an SEP plan, which is a student education plan that helps you structure semester by semester what classes you need to take, how many units it is, and what your requirements are to get into that class, or what it is transferable, whatnot. They just have, you got to pick their brains. They got so much knowledge in there, and it's there and it's available to you. So that's something that could benefit, and you can benefit from scheduling a one-on-one appointment through the faculty Zoom hours. And what better yet, you're not leaving your house. So you're just at home and you're having this conversation. It works for introverts like me. It'll work for you. Another of the resources that we offer are virtual events and the programs like dialogues. Again, important topics that are going on. Sometimes it's good to hear others' perspectives, and it helps you understand a little bit more of what's going on in the world. We have book readings. So we'll have an author come in. We have one of our wonderful professors, actually, who's an author, and he'll come and read and discuss and talk to you about what he was going through, or what was going through his mind as he was writing this. And it provides that level of engagement that makes you understand. You're, for a second, you feel like you're the author and you're in this journey with them. We have specialized workshops for undocumented students and the allies, such as there's so many of them. I'm having a little brain fart right now, but we have workshops like we have fun ones too. It doesn't have to be all informational. We can have like paint sessions on how to paint, how to create a zine. Zines are like magazines that are just made out of little books, and you can get creative with it. There's just so much that can come out of creativity and embedding the arts into the daily life that can just it gives you that sense, like, oh, I created something today, look at this. And you can use it to put long-term goals, short-term goals. You can create a vision board, things that can help you, remind you of why you're getting up every morning, why you're dressing up, you're putting your face on, you're just the reason behind your hard work. It's good to visualize it, because it's that reminder of, this is why I'm working so hard. This is why I'm studying 2-3 hours, aside from feeding my children, aside from going to work. There's just so many things that are going on in our lives, and it's important to have those visual reminders of our goals. This one is in Spanish. I'll let you guys take a moment to read it, because if I try to read this in Spanish, I'm gonna just sabotage it all. So in a glimpse, we talk about the, I'm gonna transfer into Spanish a little bit for all of our Spanish speaking students. So parte de los recursos que tenemos en el Centro de Dreamers es las citas individuales con nuestro consejero Noel Puga. Consejero, si no han platicado o tenido una oportunidad de contactarse con Noel, les recomiendo que lo hagan. Tenemos referencias a consultas migratorias que son gratuitas. Te pueden ayudar a preguntarles cualquier cosa que cuando tienes un abogado presente y tienen ese knowledge. Can somebody help me out? How do you say knowledge in Spanish? Doc?
Conocimiento, reconocimiento, things like that.
See, this is why professional development is great. I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get on my Spanish. Pero el conocimiento, si tienes un abogado que sabe el conocimiento, que sabe las estructuras de la ley y cómo te pueden ayudar, eso, el estrés te lo pueden quitar con solamente preguntar, porque así tienes la información y la información es poder. Knowledge is power. You know, the more knowledge you have, the better you'll feel, because you know how to react to something instead of being just reactive and stressing yourself out and just blocking, because a lot of us do that. It's just in our human nature. So tenemos diálogos de apoyo como los temas que están pasando en el mundo ahorita, en nuestro clima político, en nuestro clima solamente de la humanidad que tenemos. Tenemos discusiones con la comunidad donde puedes encontrar diferentes networks, Doc.
Conexiones entre personas y agencias.
Doc is another good resource. Contáctense con ellos, con él. So tenemos muchos recursos que están accesibles a ti vía la página de internet. Estamos trabajando muy difícil a crear una página de internet en español también para poder acceder a las personas también que no hablan inglés, tal vez no lo entiendes muy bien, entonces te vamos a apoyar teniendo estos recursos en español también para que no tengas que dificultarte mucho. So that concludes my presentation. Let me know if anybody has any questions, or if there are any things that you feel like I might have skipped out on, or if you'd like me to clarify on anything.
Well, Charlene, one of the things, well, first of all, that was a wonderful presentation, and thank you for presenting part of it in Spanish to our Spanish-speaking students. We appreciate that so much. One of the things that I've noticed is that even throughout the summer, that Subir was in the intercultural centers, they were having a lot of virtual events going on. Do you have anything that's up and coming in the first weeks of the semester that students can be on the lookout for?
We're establishing this week, we're going to solidify a list. And what I can say right now is just stay tuned on the website. I'm working real hard to get that calendar going. I'm going to get going on some graphics. Some of the events that we can look forward to are dialogues, a little bit more of the creative engagement side. I'm working on setting up a structure for like an art, how to paint, how to just draw something. I'm gonna work on that one. So I'm working on figuring out the structure as we're getting acquainted with Zoom. I'm not that great at public speaking. I don't know if anybody could tell. So I'm really working through that to be able to provide some of these resources and come up with more programming collaboratively with the team. So be on the lookout. By next week, there should be something on the website with the calendar of events and everything that we'll have planned up and coming.
Thank you so much, Charlene. And no, we could not tell that you did not like to speak. You are an excellent presenter, and the information you presented is useful and helpful and exciting. So students can start gearing up, and because I can't wait to see your calendar, because the events that you guys have been doing are just phenomenal. So thank you for your great work in the Subir Center and with the intercultural hubs at City College. We appreciate you, and you are a city woman who rocks, for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me and giving me the platform to be able to let the students know of all these wonderful things that we've got going on for them. Stay tuned. We're just waiting on that $1 million. We're giving you as much as we can right now. Everybody's going through some hardship adjusting to this virtual reality and keeping that human interaction. So just some words of advice that I can say is this is gonna get better. This is gonna get better. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's just stick together and empower one another and just be there for one another.
Wow, that's love. That's love. Thank you so much, Charlene. Appreciate your kind words and extending that warmth and that generous spirit that you have. I miss seeing you on campus so much.
Oh, I miss all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, my dear. We'll
Bye.
see you
Bye now.
soon. Bye-bye. Thank you. So we're going to now transition into our next presenter, and I'd like to introduce Lisa Chaddock, and I'm going to spotlight you, Lisa, so that you can talk all about everything that's the Audubon Club and Society.
Hi. I know I've been on a couple of times this week, but I really want to encourage people to think about joining the San Diego City College Audubon Club. We have a lot of activities, both virtual activities and activities out in the field. We are a chapter sanctioned by the National Audubon Society. So we are a campus chapter. We are also closely associated with San Diego Audubon, which is a national chapter in its own. We do a good deal of grant work so that we have projects going on at Otay Valley Regional Park, at Grand Caribe on Silver Strand, and Rewild Mission Bay, which is up in Mission Bay. And we also work with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service on the projects involved with their South Bay refuge, their urban refuge. And in fact, one of our president this year, Karina Ornelas, is going to be on the panel for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service upcoming event. So look for that. She was also on the Latino Conservation Week panel, which was really exciting. So it's been an amazing couple of years since we got this sanctioning from the National Audubon Society. We've gone from about 25 members before that to 75 to now about 100 to 120. Some of our members that have moved on to other campuses keep coming to our noon Friday meetings on Zoom, because this is like a gigantic family. People get into their little area. Like I said, they might some people are working on Otay Valley Regional Park. Some people are working at Grand Caribe. Some people at Mission Bay. Some folks are working at the Silverwood Wildlife Sanctuary in Lakeside. So there's all these different places where you can go and do work, get experience in research and in management and in park management, from everything from park management to grant management to working in advocacy. And in fact, we do offer a free advocacy training. It's a 10 class training put on by San Diego Audubon. And when you're finished, you'll be able to talk with people like city council members, or we have once a year, a state day where we go up to Sacramento and talk to the representatives there. And they're even talking about going to Washington, D.C. once that things open up again. And then every other year, we go to the national convention. Last time we went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we were graciously awarded the campus chapter of the year, which was really exciting. But our next event would be 2021, and it's in Tacoma, Washington. And last time we took 5 students. Next time I want to take 10 and go there and be a part of this big, huge national event. We presented our data from our research, because we do have an ongoing research project on the campus. So that was very exciting. And we've been part of the bigger research project going on through Cornell that found out that we've lost about 1/3 of the birds on the planet since the 1980s. So we have a lot of work to do, and we really want to welcome people. Do I have time to show that little video?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So this is our club. And we do a lot of videos, so you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, San Diego City College Audubon Club. So do you want to save the birds? Join us. The other thing is, it doesn't matter what your major is, because every major is going to be needing to get up to speed on regenerative sustainability. And that's what we're all about, is ways to work with nature and not harm nature, work within the environment, not harm the environment. So again, the Audubon Club is a very active club. It's like family. The students are like my children. I love them so much. It's so wonderful to have such a big, active, wonderful family.
We love them and they love you too, Lisa. And I'm wondering if we could hear from Karina today.
Is she here?
She's here.
Karina, hi.
How are you?
Amazing, wonderful. It's good to see you.
I'm going to go ahead and spotlight you, Karina, and like to hear your thoughts about the club and the important work that you do for our environment and for our birds and butterflies.
Yeah, butterflies. Yeah, so we are a big chapter on the campus, and we are like a big family. So every people that goes to the club is welcome. Like we always doing funny stuff over in different parts. We are always doing like planting events around the campus. And also we do research on the campus. So we collect data on the birds that come to the campus. So, and always there are opportunities to networking with different people. As Professor Shadow say, we network with the Youth and With Life, Tijuana River Estuary, San Diego Avalon, and we always do like events also online. So like right now we are like with the COVID, we hosted the Latino Conservation Week, so people can feel a little hope and be welcome. Yeah.
That's terrific. Wow. It's amazing how we're finding these ways to connect with one another and doing this wonderful work during the pandemic. And so I have so much admiration for your work, Karina. I'm so proud of you for being a student at City College who's thriving. Thank you for being with us today. Is there anything else you'd like to add before I turn it back over to your professor?
Thank you. Yes, we are always trying to network with different people, and also like we are always trying to learn new languages. So we do videos over the summer and doing Spanish, English, Tagalog, and Mandarin. So more people can know about the club and ways to.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. Well, a huge congratulations to you all, and I hope that we see you at our interclub councils this fall, and we'll start next week sometime. So stay tuned for that. It's so good of you to join us. I love your background. Those butterflies, you can talk more about maybe, Lisa, about how you work with the monarch butterflies and the hummingbirds projects at City College.
Well, we started with a small plot, and it was the very first grant I got, actually. It was a very tiny little plot right by the S building. And we involved everybody, including Child Development Center, and they brought over their little kids to do a count. It was wonderful. But we hatched 43 monarch butterflies from that little plot. And then we got a grant to do the S building from 16th Street. On 16th Street from B to Rusk is a big butterfly garden, bird and butterfly garden. And the students planted that, and then we started keeping research. And when we started, we had like 3 different types of birds. We had, I think, 3 hummingbirds and some pigeons and a single black phoebe. And that was it. And now we have literally dozens of bird species. We've had really unusual birds come and winter over on campus because there's enough food for them to stay. And what started as that little garden, Kim in the gardening staff, they went with it and have now turned most of the campus into bird and butterfly garden so that there's habitat for these migratory species, including things like the different warblers. We've had dozens of warblers show up on the campus and stay. And we used to have a single hummingbird that had staked out the oak tree by the S building. So we named him Einstein, and he was pretty spectacular, but sadly he passed away last year. And but he's buried under the oak tree because he passed away right there and in front of one of the students, and she buried him, and we have flowers over his little grave, and it's pretty spectacular that he seemed to have made friends with the students who were watching him and keeping track. But in turn, we now have warblers that have staked out that tree. So it's a very dynamic ecosystem now. It's very dynamic. And now we have hummingbirds that have staked out that 16th Street. And we have a few of them. Avocado is the female, and she has had, I know, they come up with names, but Avocado has had, last year she had fledged 2 babies. And this year, I imagine she's fledged more. I'm not there to find out. I know she was on a nest when we left. So I hope she had more babies, because Avocado is one of my favorites. She's just adorable. And if I take water out, she likes to bathe in it. So I've been watching her and putting water out for a bird bath for her. And again, like I said, we're not there, so I don't know what's there now. But I do know that the goldfinches are moving through right now, so they're going to be on the 16th Street, because we usually have a flock of about 32 that come through. So this has been an amazing experience. We've rewilded the city campus. It's incredible. And it's been the work of the students, All I do is bring plants. They get out there and they put the plants in, they monitor them, they monitor everything. It's been a fantastic experience, and it's all about giving them experience in research, in how to run these sort of things. And like I said, I got students who are physics majors, biology majors, history majors. I got a philosopher in the mix. We got English majors, political science majors, especially. In fact, one of our political science majors from way back, he was in the club before we were nationally sanctioned, is now running for office in National City. And he's got a very environmental bent because he went through this whole club program. So it's good to see people who are willing to get involved at City College later get involved in the city. So
I think that, like, if I'm taking away, because I know your students very well through the Interclub Council and through sharing. And one of the things, and Karina, I'll just say to you too, the connectedness that you bring to nature and to wildlife, the birds. I'm telling you, over at Student Affairs, I miss so much walking through our campus, even from the parking lot where I always park, walking my way over to the Office of Student Affairs, where we do have that beautiful butterfly and hummingbird garden. Look, I'm the first one, when I need to go take a break, I just go and surround myself with that beauty. And it's such a calming environment to be in. It's beautiful, it's delightful, and it makes me feel delighted. So when I go back to work, I have that little extra pep in my step, because that is so beautiful there. I can't wait to go back to campus to see Avocado and her offspring, right? And that story that you told about Einstein and what he meant to so many students, and then what the students meant to him. So that is such a beautiful story of the circle of life and how you all bring it. And thank you so much for everything that you do. That's very important work to our environment and to our ecosystem here in San Diego, and especially at City College. You all are our prizes at City College. Thank you so much. Anything you want to add, Karina, before we leave today?
To join the club, please.
Yeah, please join the club.
You will feel welcome.
Yeah.
And there is something always to do something in the club.
Oh, perfect.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Well, I definitely feel that love. And so thank you so much for being here with us today for your presentation. Appreciate you all so kindly. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Thank you for letting us join you.
Thank you. Appreciate you all. Have a great semester. Now I have another, we have our next presenters here, and oh my gosh, I already see Edwidge, who is another city woman who rocks. And we have our outreach team and first year services team that are going to be doing a city ready presentation. And so I'm just gonna like throw it over to Edwidge because I see her, I'm already feeling your excitement and your enthusiasm. So welcome, Edwidge. Who do you have here with you today?
Yes, welcome and good morning, everyone. I have here with me today my lovely peer mentor, Diane Torres.
Hi, Diane.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Today, we're going to be speaking about how to get prepared for the semester, right? We want you to be as successful as possible, and we want it to be as easy as possible to be successful. So we're going to provide you with some techniques and tips on MySDCCD, Canvas, San Diego City College website, the remote online services webpage. That's a one-stop shop for all departments listed there. So we're going to kind of dive into that to make sure that you have a wonderful semester. We want you to have fun this semester, enjoy it. So Diane, why don't we just give you the students out there a little bit of background about yourself?
Yes, so my name is Diane Torres. This is my second year working with Eddie in the Peer Mentor Lab. I actually am a student at San Diego City College. I did graduate last spring semester, but I am taking a few classes that I was interested in to continue my goals and to be more marketable in the workplace. But I am thankful that I was connected because I'm a first generation college student. I was connected to the first year services department. I had a peer mentor of my own, and I was able to attend wonderful workshops, get that advice from my fellow peer mentors, that they were able to help me and support me with different areas, not only academic, but also career-wise. So I would like to thank City College for being able to support me and help me achieve my goals.
Yes, Diane. Thank you so much for giving that introduction. And just like Diane, I was a city student. I'm currently still a city student, taking a few classes, but I graduated in May with Diane, and it was just an amazing accomplishment. I just want to thank City College Support Services and Programs and all the resources that provided me this opportunity to pursue my education. And so I hope the same for you, and I know you'll do it too. So without further ado, we will jump into our City Ready session that was designed to help you navigate the online portals such as MySDCCD and Canvas, the learning system management that you'll be taking your classes on. And this is very important to understand how to use it effectively so you can be successful as possible in your classes. And so I'm going to have Diane share the screen. Awesome. All right. So some of the topics that we're going to be covering today are going to be San Diego City College website, remote online services, MySDCCD, and Canvas. And before I get into this, I want to let you know that there will be links and information posted in the comment section. And just so you could use that for your future reference, some of the topics we'll be talking about, we want to make sure that you know where to find these resources. So we will be posting that. And if you have any questions or comments, please put that in the chat. It is an interactive, engaging session that we have. We want to hear from you. We also will be posting a sign-in sheet for you all to sign in so we can follow up with you guys to see how what you thought about the City Ready session and what we can do to improve these sessions for you all. So thank you. So let's just get started and dive into our wonderful San Diego City College website. So the way you'll go into that is you're going to type in sdcity.edu in the search bar, and that's going to prompt here a San Diego City College interface where you'll know you'll be able to be directed to the right website by seeing the C logo. That's how you know you're on the right website. It'll say San Diego City College with the C logo. And so if you scroll down a little bit, you're gonna see a little tab that says Remote Online Services. And I want you to click that. And that's going to take you to the Remote Online Services page, where most of the departments are listed here with their contact information, a brief description of their services and resources, as well as their email address, and some links to provide you with the resources that you need. And so we're going to kind of let's go into tutoring, Diane. Now, if you click the Tutorial Learning Center, as you see, there's a description, and then there's their email, so you can contact them through email, as well as their web page. So let's click the web page. And it prompts you into their site. Now, this is an amazing resource, and I really want to encourage you and recommend you to take full advantage of these free, I said free resources. They are available to you through Canvas. You can enroll. They have an enroll link on their website, and they have times and dates for you to be provided with tutoring services. Now, they have services for math and English, and there are also services on Saturday, and those times and dates are listed on the webpage. So I want you to take some time to thoroughly review this resource so you can use that to your advantage. Now, a lot of these services are on Canvas, so you'll have to be enrolled, and then through Canvas, you can just hop on their their link, and then select the time and date for your tutoring session. Now, Diane, let's go into counseling. All right, counseling. This is, I mean, come on, counseling is what everyone needs, right? So we have their email, their number, they have a front desk, and also their webpage is highlighted here. So let's click their webpage. And so their webpage is full of workshops that you can use to learn about their services. They also have drop-in appointments, 15 to 20-minute drop-in appointments for general questions and some other things that you can get done. Now, this is not the hour educational planning session, but within these appointments, you can still get some really great insight on your pathway and things you can do at San Diego City College. And so these appointments go live every day, and services are limited, but nonetheless are available. So I would suggest and recommend that you take advantage of taking these, scheduling an appointment as early as possible. And so I would say maybe 7, 8 a.m. If you wait a little bit later in the day, some of the appointments might be fully booked. So remember, if you need a counseling appointment, there are 15 to 20-minute drop-in appointments, and that is available every day, and it goes live every day. So take advantage of making an appointment as early as possible. But I do want to just say that if you are a new student, they have created a new student educational plan session. And what that is, those are series of modules that kind of helps you facilitate like the knowledge that you need. So it goes over welcoming you to the San Diego City College community. Then it goes over your milestones, like your placement, your assessment. Then it'll go over briefly your educational planning, like things that you could achieve at City. Like if you want to get a certificate of achievement, a certificate of performance, an AA, an AS, they'll go over those pathways for you. They'll also dive into some support programs and services that are offered. And they'll also review how to create your first semester educated abbreviated ed plan. So they'll go over some classes that you might need and what it takes to obtain your AA or your AS. And so it's very, very impactful with knowledge, with information so you can use, so you can have a good semester. So all students must complete this before meeting with a counselor. And there's also a student orientation. Now, the new student orientation is different from the new student educational plan session because the student orientation kind of provides you with knowledge on campus as a whole, Like it's telling you, okay, this is how campus life is going to be, college life is going to be. The educational plan workshop is letting you know about the classes you can take, how to build your educational plan, what pathways you can dive into, and what you could achieve at City College. So they're both orientations, but they provide different things. And this is the educational planning workshop, how it looks on campus. And it's easy to enroll. You go into the counseling website, you click here next to new student educational plan session. It prompts up a Canvas shell and you start watching those modules. The unique thing about this workshop is that at the very end of this workshop, you're able to obtain a group session. And now with group sessions, they can't really speak with you individually and specifically on your needs, on your academic needs. But what can happen is that you can probably get a few of your questions answered. And so maybe even talk to the counselor about booking an appointment. So this is very, very good, guys. Take advantage of this resource. Now, if we go back to the online remote services webpage, you'll see a list of the departments, like I said. So I would like to recommend you go online, kind of review some of the services so you can be familiar with this. And this is how you will get in contact with departments on campus remotely. And also, I want to try to see if I can just take some time out to kind of promote our services here at the Peer Mentor Lab. We do have a column there as well, and our number is listed there, as well as our email and our web page. On our web page, we have a bunch of workshops that you could take advantage of, from time management skills, how to survive and thrive in online classes, and also you can see our social media links. And we created a to-do list for you all just to get started, to give you kind of like a guide to help you if you are lost. So please visit our webpage as well at FYS Peer Mentor Lab. And we have provided a calendar of events, activities, and workshops that we'll be providing throughout the semester. So that calendar is embedded as well. So you can take a look at our calendar to attend our future activities, workshops, and events. All right. Well, that is it for the San Diego City College Remote Online Services page. We are going to dive into My SDCCD, and we'll have Diane take over for right now.
Hello, everyone. Give me 1 second while I put the presentation back to the slide. But meanwhile, does anyone have any questions so far about what they just saw in the remote online services webpage? As Eddie mentioned, it's a wonderful, useful tool that you have to access different departments, how to contact them if you need assistance and support in any of those areas. So now let's go into navigating My SDCCD. Okay, there we go. And so this webpage, it's very important for you to have access to it. Whoops. And so it is sending me to the page. Moment while it's loading, but basically it's the portal where you would be able to add your classes, see your class schedule, see your grades, see how much financial aid you have. If you have to turn in extra paperwork, this is where you would be notified. You can also see your milestones, order transcripts, apply for graduation. So you know this is a very important website because it has everything in it. And so you want to have access and you want to know how to log in. So allow me to log in. Okay, there we go. So I'm able to log in. To log in, you want to enter your 10-digit student ID number and then your password that you created when you created the account. So make sure that you have that written down. If for whatever reason you don't have that with you, you want to contact the admissions department or fill out a help ticket, and we will be posting the necessary information in the chat. But we want to make sure that you have access to this portal. Once you have logged in, you notice that I had a notification where it showed me important information that I need to know. So you want to read over that because that is up-to-date information that you want to keep up with. That could be about direct deposit or to check out the remote online services website for updates. It can be different things, but you will receive those updates and you want to go over them carefully. Now on here, this is the homepage. So you are looking to click the college student dashboard. So you notice that there are 3 little people, one's red, one's blue, and then one's green, and you want to click on this one. If for whatever reason that page is empty, this could be because your application maybe needs to be updated. So once again, we will be posting that help desk information in the chat. If for whatever reason it's empty or it doesn't have all your information, you definitely want to ask for assistance. Now this is your college student dashboard. As you can see, it gives me the welcome to City College. If another campus like Mesa or Miramar is your home campus or your campus resident or college of record, then you would have it say, welcome to Mesa, or welcome to Miramar. As you can see, it shows me my class schedule. I can switch to my grades and see my grades there. I can also view my financial aid, how much I would be awarded for each semester per the academic year. I can view my satisfactory academic progress, cost of attendance, view any rewards. You can enroll for direct deposit. I can see my college of record. And right here where it says my to-do list, this is where it would show if you have to send in any extra paperwork to the financial aid office. That is one of the things that would show there. Also under my finances, I can update charges and it will show me an updated sum of anything that I may owe. In this case, I don't have anything owed. So if I update charges, it's going to send me to where it says tuition and fees and just show me if I owe anything or if I don't owe anything. So now I do want to explain the left side menu. So as you can see, when we went to the college student dashboard, it gives you this general portal on the right side, but then you have the left side menus. So right here you have my academics, where you can see
really quick. Your screen is it changing? So maybe it's on pause.
Oh yes, sorry about that. Can you see it now?
Yes, you can see it now. Thank you, Diane.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have my academics on the left side, and then my portal on, or the general screen on the right side. So under my academics, as you can see, you have information on your ed plan. You can plan by requirements. You can view your milestones. You can create a what if report, which what it is a report based on what classes you would take. And so it would allow you to see and plan out your semesters per not only the classes that you would be taking, but the classes that you would be taking dependent on the major that you're working towards. You can also view your transfer credit report, apply for graduation, view your graduation status if you already applied for graduation. Now for the section My Classes, this is the section where you can search for classes. You can also view your unofficial transcript and request an official transcript. And then of course, if you want to browse the course catalog or want to do any changes to your classes such as dropping a class or editing a class. When you edit a class, that means that you're usually changing the grade aspect. So some classes you can, instead of getting a letter grade, you can get a pass or no pass grade. And so that you can do that in the enrollment edit portion in this section. But definitely, if you're planning on do that, we always recommend talking to a counselor about it, because sometimes some of these classes you do need or they do have to be a letter grade based on your major. Then you have My Finances. This section, you can make payments and see your tuition fees. You also have access to this 1098-T tax form, which is needed during or when you're making your taxes, because if you're paying for your classes, you would be able to see it reflected in this tax form, and then you could put it in your taxes. Also, My Financial Aid. This is where you would view your financial aid, and you can also accept or decline awards. So this is a section that you want to keep up with if you're awaiting a response, or if you just turn in your financial aid. Definitely the financial aid office will be sending you a confirmation email of your award for the semester, but you can also view your financial aid here. And then finally, right here where it says My Personal Information, you have the message center. So once again, that's important information that the school will be sending you. If there's any paperwork that you need to turn in, they would request it through the message center. If you have any holds, you can click on here and it would show you any of the holds that you have. And then of course, if you have to update your personal information, if you click on this section, you would be able to open and edit any important information that you need to edit. Specifically, I would highly suggest to keep up your email address and your street address up to date, because if they are sending you, let's say, if you're not signed up for direct deposit, you want to make sure that your address is correct in your personal information on My Portal. And then of course your email address is up to date, because you want to get those updates and get the most updated information to your personal email so that you have access to see all of that.
And Diane, what Diane's mentioning right now is very important, because sometimes when they need to get in touch with you, it's to help you with your financial aid, or you might need to verify documents, or you might need to turn in something in order for you to receive your funding, or in order for you to clear a hold. So make sure that is up to date. That's very important, Diane. And I don't know, Diane, did you mention there's other ways to also enroll, like at the bottom underneath the class schedule? You can, it's the tab, it says enroll class search. It's a little further up and it says,
right here.
Yeah, so that's another way. And you can talk about that a little bit. So there's quite a few ways to enroll and search for classes and build your plan. So yeah.
And right here in this section where it has my classes, of course it shows classes that I've signed up for the semester, but under here, right, highlighted in orange, when it comes up to enroll again in the spring, it's very important for you to see your date of enrollment appointment, because that's when you can start adding your classes and registering for those classes. And to make the process easier, it highlights it in orange, and then you have these direct links where you can just click enroll. You can do a class search. If you are using the planner section of My CCCD, which allows you to select certain classes that you plan on taking, you can use that as reference, and you can also view your unofficial transcript. But let's go into class search and enroll. The difference between one is that enroll will add you directly to the adding classes portion of the website. The class search allows you to search for specific classes. And so going into this, you can also access this same webpage under My Classes, and then you can just click class search, and it will do the same thing, but whatever is easier for you. I find that just having it at the beginning is easy, and it sends you directly to here to search for a class. The first three, the one that you just always want to make sure is that you're in the correct semester. So if it doesn't say, let's say I was choosing my classes during the summer semester, I would have to have changed the fall into, or the term into fall 2020. And then for course career, you want to leave it saying undergraduate. You don't want to move that. Now for college, you can select City College or the campus that you're looking the class in. And then you want to select the subject. So if it's an English class, you want to search for an English class, math class, whatever you're looking for, you can look depending on the subject. And then each subject has a different course number. So in this case, this is the list of course numbers for English. In this case, I will be looking for just a general one, English 101. Now for these ones, you can do online or off campus, that's optional. You can also leave it blank. The same thing with sessions. If you're looking specifically to take a short term, it can reduce the list of your searches to make things easier to find. But in this case, I want to see what options I have available in total. If you would have had the specific class number already, you can just search the class number and it would find the specific class for you. Okay. And then once again, honors, if you're looking for an honors course, and then you can choose show open classes only. This further reduces your list of searches.
And also, I know that she probably touched upon it, but the sessions as well. If you are looking for, there are different type of sessions. So there's the primary session, which is 16 weeks. And then there is the 8-week sessions. And we have short-term classes. And short-term classes can start in September and in October. And if you're someone that likes that pace, accelerated pace, like me, I like that 8-week session, you can have the opportunity to kind of specify your search right here, where you could put short first 8 weeks, which will start August 17th until I believe October 17th or 14th. And then a second week session will start in October and end December 14th. And the way I do it sometimes, just to give, I kind of do 2 classes in the first 2 weeks and 2 classes in the second 2 weeks. And I have a full-time schedule, but I'm only concentrating on 2 weeks at a time. And that works for me. That might not suit you. So you definitely want to play around with your schedule to make sure you build a schedule that's going to suit your needs and your time. But just wanted to give that out, a little hint for that, if you wanted to know what sessions meant.
Yes, and so I switched up my search to reflect sort of what Eddie was saying. So in this accounting list of classes, we have the first one. It actually says that this class is an 8-week course because it's an 8-week course, it's a short-term late start class. It starts in October and it ends when the semester ends in December. And then you can notice the difference between these ones too. They are short term as well, but then these ones start in August. So they started when the semester started, but they actually end September 26th. And so if you're still looking for classes, you still have plenty of time to do so. As you can see, there's open classes, and then depending on what you prefer and what's ideal for you, you can choose short-term classes. This one actually started when the semester started August 17th, but it ends October 10th. So you can see the different dates that a class may end. And actually this one isn't an 8-week course, it's a 4-week course. So that's why it ends earlier. And this one is an 8-week course. Now, as you notice, there's these triangles, this square and this circle. These symbols show the status of the class. So if a class is full, then you would see that there's a blue square. If the class is still open and you're still able to add the class, it would show a green circle. And then if the status of it has a yellow triangle, that means that you can waitlist the class. What it means by waitlist is that if you go on class details, the class detail shows you more information on the class. If you scroll down where it says class availability, we see that the class is full, but there is a wait list already, so that you're waiting to get into the class if a seat were to be open. The cool thing about this is, let's say you're number 1 or 2 on the wait list. If the class hasn't started yet and someone drops within this enrollment total, then that person who's first in line or second in line starts going into the class and automatically gets enrolled in the class. If you're on the wait list and the class has already started, you do have to attend that first meeting and speak with the professor. And then the professor would give you that permission number. And we will show you later on through our presentation how you can add that waitlisted class. So let's say I want to view search results again. Another advice that I have when you're going through the portal and searching for classes, don't click the back button. That can send you all the way to the home dashboard. You want to click view search results again, or new search or modify search. That makes things easier for you instead of you having to start the whole process again. Another thing that you want to take into account when you're looking for a class to add is where is the class going to meet at. In this case, because we are doing everything virtually, as you can see, everything is online, but there is a difference between online classes and then remote online classes. This list doesn't have a remote online course. They all say online, and this is fully online because there's no set meeting times. You don't have to meet with the professor at any time through Zoom. Everything is done through Canvas. If you were to need assistance and speak with a professor, then that's when you would have to maybe make an appointment, and that's very dependent on the professor if they're doing office hours through Zoom or if they're just doing everything through email. So I will go back and I want to show you how it looks different with a class that is actually remote online. And I just want to say thank you everyone for joining us on this presentation. You're welcome to put any of your questions in the chat and we will be answering those questions. So as you can see, this one has, it's online, but it has set meeting times. This is an English 13A class. And so as you can see where it says room, it says City Web and then City Remote. So you have the instructor name, the meeting dates, they start August 17th to December 14th. And then the days and times, you have a date and time that you will be meeting through Zoom. So that's the difference, where this one that says online, no set meeting times, the room says City Web, and then the days and time says TBA, because the class is fully online with no set meeting times. Okay. And then if you have or are not sure until when you can add the class, you can always click on this calendar portion of here, and then you would see the add and drop deadlines. This is very important because the difference between drop deadline and then the withdrawal deadline is that if you drop a class before the withdrawal deadline or this deadline, then you won't get a W on your transcript, where if it's after this deadline, you will receive a W. And if you wait to drop a class until after this deadline, you won't be able to. You'll have to get a grade for that class. Now let's say I want to add this English 101 course. I would click select. Okay. So as you can see, this gives me all the information again about the class, any class notes, and then you just want to make sure the days and times go with your schedule. And then so if you're looking for a class and you're adding it to your shopping cart, this is where the permission number would go. You would click next, and then you would add it to your shopping cart. I do want to point out that when you add it to your shopping cart, that does not mean that you enrolled in the class. That only means that you added it to the shopping cart. Okay. So let's say I want to add this class. I would go to enrollment, add classes. There we go. And then as you can see, this is the class that is in my shopping cart. I want to proceed to step 2 of 3. Okay. And so it will ask me to confirm if this is the class that I want to add, and then I would click finish enrolling. So the class or the system did not allow me to enroll in the class because, as you can see, since the class already started, I would need to input a permission number. In this case, I don't have it, and I didn't put it in, so that's why it's not allowing me to do it. But if you are trying to add a class and you're successfully enrolling in the class, you would see a green check mark like this. In this case,
and Diane, there are other holds, right? So if they have another hold as far as like a hold error, that means you have a hold on your account that will prevent you to add a class. And there's also holds as far as like prerequisites, and you have to really make sure you meet with the counselor and understand what classes you can take with your milestones, because a lot of students are met with prerequisite errors, and what that means is you have to take another class before you can be enrolled in that certain class that you're enrolling for. So those are kind of like some of the specific errors that will come up along with the add code permission code number.
I have also seen co-requisite errors, and that differently than a prerequisite error where you have to have taken a certain class prior to a certain class. You have to take and add the class together with the class that you're trying to add. So definitely, like Edward was saying, speak with the counselor, make sure that you're adding the correct courses. So something that, before we continue, I do want to point out one thing. Let me click home. When you're trying, let's say you're on the wait list and you're trying to add that class, there's a specific process that you need to go through to add that class. And that is that when you're adding the class, you actually have to drop yourself from the wait list first. So you would have to drop from that wait list, go into the enrollment drop classes section, choose the class that you want to drop. You will see this yellow triangle under status. That's how you'll identify that specific class that you want to drop, and then you would drop it. You do want to save this class number because that makes it easier to when you're trying to add that class and finish enrolling in it with the permission number that you have. You want to enter the class number here, and then it will add it to your shopping cart automatically. You would click on the class, and right here, once again, where it says permission number, you would put in that number, click next, and then finish enrolling. So there is that extra step of dropping yourself from the wait list when you're adding classes. Don't worry if there's a blue square on the class that it's full. As long as you have that permission number, you should be able to get into that class that you're waitlisted for. Okay. And so does anyone have any questions? I hope this was clear. And sorry about earlier where you couldn't see my screen.
It's okay. It's
okay.
All
right. We don't have any questions from YouTube audience right now. However, do you want to proceed, Edwidge? Do you have
Yes. Thank you, Lori. So I think that wrapped up for my SDCCD. I'm gonna share my screen now for Canvas, and we're gonna hop into Canvas. And if you did or do think of any questions you might have later on, please contact us. We're available on 619-800-2739 and by email, and that will be communicated in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can jump into Canvas. All right, so I already kind of jumped into Canvas right here, but I'm going to kind of log out so you can see how I did that. And so like I said before, Canvas is the learning system management that you will be using to conduct your classes. And so right here, what you want to do is you want to put SDCCD Canvas and make sure you put that because there's many other Canvases shell and you want to make sure you log into the correct Canvas shell. And then it's going to bring you to Canvas Instructure, sdccdinstructure.com. You'll select this and make sure you select the student login because there is a professor login, faculty login. So always make sure you're selecting the correct login. And now that's going to bring us, excuse me, sorry about that. All right, and that's going to bring us to our Canvas shell. Now, it brought me here automatically, but what you will do is you'll have to put your 10-digit CSID number as well as your 8-digit birth date. So for me, it'll be my student identification number that I received after I applied and what you use to log into my SDCCD. And then it will be, for me, it'll be 11/25/1986. So that's the credentials you use to log into Canvas. Now, as you can see, this is the dashboard. This is our dashboard. You can actually personalize it by adding your picture. You can add a description of yourself if you want to by clicking this and putting edit profile. And for sake of time, I won't go through that right now. But when you log in, you'll see the classes that you are currently enrolled in. And now if you have a late start class or a short-term class, sometimes the professors don't activate it or publish it, the course. So you won't see that until they want to publish or activate the course. So you'll have that there. Now, for the classes that do start, you see it look like this. And I'm going to go into, let's just go into Personal Growth 120. This is a course that I took a while back. And so when you click on the course, you'll see usually they have an introduction, the professors introducing themselves, as well as kind of giving you guys a little bit of background on them and on the class, basically what you'll be learning and what they expect out of you from the class. So this is what Professor Georgina did, which she's a lovely, amazing professor. She kind of laid out some key information as well as her email and contact information. Now, right here on the left-hand side, you'll see definitely a column here that says announcements, syllabus, modules, assignments, quizzes, discussions, grades. Now, these are all things that professors activate for you to use. So basically what I'm saying is they're going to communicate with you through announcements. So I have a few announcements here from Professor Georgina, and she was just letting me know, like, this week we are going to be talking about, this topic, and I would like for you to make sure that you respond to these many students and this is discussion. So it's just kind of detailing out what's going to happen the week of or the weeks to come. So make sure you're checking your announcements because it's going to give you information on things that you have to do and get done. Now the syllabus, of course, like I said, like we mentioned, it's basically going to lay out the class for you, the expectations, your assignments, dates and deadlines, homework, the quizzes, when those are due. And I would use this in conjunction with the personal calendar, whether or not it's a book calendar or online, and plug in those important dates as far as quizzes so you can know when you need to study, when those are coming up to really make sure your schedule is cleared. And so this is how that would look. And sometimes it's a little, it changes on Canvas shells, but it should be the same format. Now modules is basically like these sections that you'll be working on in the classroom. And so our first module was getting started. So she listed out all the information resources and highlighted like the help desk for me to get started. Then week 1 was book setup and registration. So I like this because it kind of categorizes different things that you need to do in one section. So please check your modules as well. Assignments tab is where you're going to submit your assignment. And the unique thing about this is you can submit assignments multitude of ways. You can submit it by submitting text. You could submit it by PDF. They have a bunch of ways that you can submit the assignment. And so that will that can be easy for you right here. It's not activated because this is in previous class that I've taken, so apologize for that. Then we have quizzes where you'll be able to take your quiz here. All the quizzes and tests that you'll have, they'll be able to click this and they'll be prompt you to the quiz. And remember, some of the quizzes are timed, so please look out for that. And some of the questions are timed. Not only the quiz is timed, but some questions might be timed where you only have a minute to answer that question. So make sure you're prepared, you study, whatever study guide or PowerPoint that you have to review, you have that so you can pass your quiz and be successful. Discussions is basically discussions that professors will have you participate in with your student learning community, other students, and you'll be responding back and forth. And so that's what that is. You can also check your grades. This is a great, I think this is amazing, knowing exactly what grade you're getting on your assignments. So then you can, talk to your professor and maybe even see where you're at. Like, this is gonna show you, and as you can see, if you're late, I was late on one assignment. But if you're late, it'll let you know if you're late. If you're missing an assignment, it'll let you know that you have missed an assignment. And at the bottom, it'll give you the percentage of your grade at the current moment. So that's a really great tool. So if your grade is if you're not doing too well, you can have some time to speak to the professor and say, what can I do to excel in this class? And then there's some other features here as well. I wanted to kind of get to the inbox real quick. So if you needed to contact your professor, how to do so. That's one thing we didn't go over on My SDCCD. There is an option where you can communicate with your professor through that, but I'll just come to this inbox, this little mail type of icon here. I'm gonna click right here. You're gonna select your course. I don't know, we could select this course, and then after that, this course is of course not activated. And then you'll select your professor. It'll say 2. You'll select here. And it says teachers, and then you'll select your professor, Georgina or Rudy Zamora. You'll write your subject line and write the professor. So that is how you will get in contact with your professor on Canvas. And now I'll go back to the dashboard. And so most of your, and excuse me, my dog is barking. Most of the classes will be on here, right? But I want to take a moment to let you know on the right-hand side, this is a unique feature that Canvas has. It has a to-do list where it'll highlight and lay out your upcoming assignments and your upcoming discussions, whatever is due for that week. And so make sure you pay attention to this too, because this is what keeps me on track as well. And also here's the coming up section, and then recent feedback. When you submit an assignment, some professors like to write you back or give you some feedback. And I always try to read all of those feedbacks, so you can see that right here. And you can click on the assignment to see it as a whole. So this is Canvas in a nutshell. I know I went fast, but I know we are limited on time here, and it's 12:21. And so the last thing that we wanted to do is kind of go over our peer advocate services, and I'll let Diane take over.
Before we continue, I just want you to point out that little question mark in a circle. Yes. That one, if you have any questions on Canvas, you can call us and we'll give you our contact information, but you can also search the Canvas guides on how to submit assignments. Sometimes there are certain files that you need to submit that can help you there. You also have this support hotline. It's there for students 24/7. The number is 1-844-612-7421. And once again, it's a 24/7 support hotline. So if you're doing an assignment, let's say you couldn't sleep and you decided to catch up on your assignments or do some assignments ahead of time, you can call them and they will be able to assist you.
Yes, thank you so much for highlighting that, Diane. That's a very important resource. And there's also tutorials available for you. And there's like how-to steps, like a how-to guide for Canvas and My SDCCD. And we'll put that link in the comment section. And so I'll stop share right now. We can go over some of our services.
Okay, so we're available for questions, assistance with the enrollment process. As you saw, we went over My CCCD, how to add classes, and we went over Canvas. If you need assistance with any of these, or if you're interested in applying to City, if you still need to do your FAFSA application, give us a call. Our number is 619-800-2739. We are here for you and we want to support you. We are also able to do Zoom assistance appointments, so you can go ahead and make an appointment through the link that will be posted on the chat. Right there, we can help you the same way as we can on the phone, but with that added bonus that you can share your screen with us and we can better assist you that way, because we can see what you're seeing and better point you to what to click on. You can also email us for general questions at sdcitycollegepeeradvocates@gmail.com. I highly suggest you to contact us. I was helped in my day by my peer mentor, and I look forward to assisting you as well. We're also live on social media at SD City FYS, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go ahead and follow us. We're constantly updating on campus resources and also on upcoming events and workshops like this one. Our hours are of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're also having this new City Virtual Support Hour. And this is coming this Monday, August 24th. And these are the times and days that, that we will be available. You can connect with us at this link. And so as you can see, it's 1 hour per day. And so you will be assisted through Zoom.
Yes, yes, take advantage of those. This virtual support session will offer group meetings and one-on-one meetings. So come in and drop by. We're here for you. We hope you have an amazing, wonderful semester, and take care.
Well, thank you both so much. We appreciate all that wonderful information and the step-by-step process of how students can be successful in navigating our website and My SDCCD. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. You all are amazing. Thank you so kindly for all your work today. So this presentation will conclude our morning session. And I just wanted to thank you all again for choosing San Diego City College as your higher education place to either begin or continue with your academic journey. We will have our final Welcome Week presentation for our PM session that begins at 3:15. So once again, thanks for choosing City. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you soon.